All right, here we come. We are live at the top cut. I am CoDameron. I'm here with Z, and Z will be my surrogate caster for the day.
Awesome.
Z is a member of Team SAS, and he beats me at this game so
It's
often.
called Team SAS.
Team SAS.
By the way.
Okay, he's a member of Team SAS, but he beats me every time we play, almost. And
I
except
think you
for
beat me once out of 5.
I've beaten you once.
Yeah.
But
1-4 is not bad.
He's an excellent player. He is absolutely qualified to be cast in this event. Except for he pulled badly yesterday, so.
I went in with a 70 SAS deck with 48 arc and went 4-2, so I'm happy with 4-2.
Anyway, I'm going to be playing. I may or may not be on the stream myself, but my game will be recorded. It will be shown later on Rob's gaming table. Otherwise, I'm going to go find some players. Oh, big news, we have hand cams. Check out this casting setup. Ba-boom. You got 3 cameras hanging out. So you can see what the players have in their hands. Z, I'm going to hit this. I'm going to turn this over to you.
All right.
And Z, you take the reins. Let me know if you need anything, but wish me luck.
Okay. Hello, everybody. This is my first time doing the official casting setup, but we're going to see who we have on table 1 here in a minute, and maybe possibly get a co-caster. I don't want y'all staring at my bald head the entire time, so I'm going to turn that little thing off right there. And then let's see who we've got. As far as the buys go, I've already recognized a couple people are getting buys here. Let's see. How many people are getting buys? Let's see. Let's get that information.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
We have 10 people getting a buy. So that is quite a few people that are going to get a lot of scouting potential to, you know, get that slight advantage because they're mostly going to be here standing around because they're required to check in. So, yeah, you can come in. So I'm going to have someone come on. It's better to co-commentate because we can kind of like go back and forth across the hands. And go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Connor. I was on for round 5 last stream where you saw Steven beat me.
All right. So how did you do day 1?
3-3.
3-3. So he's 3-3. I went 4-2. We are kind of on the outsides looking to see what's going on in the actual official premium play. We're still getting set up. They're kind of organizing everything. Do you want to take a picture to see who has the buys and we can kind of list off to the audience who has buys? Some people know these guys. All right, we're going to get that list of the names of those that have the buys, and the rest of our people are going to be on the play. All right, who do we have that has a buy? Let's see. We have round 1 buy is Aaron Glantz, Alex Cabildo, Ben Wallace, that's Team SAS, woo-woo. Brad Minig, John Polm, Josh Goriak, Corey Joyce, Nathan Westlake, who's the runner of DOK and also on Team SAS, Philip Horney, and Trevor Coburn all get a buy. So if you know those folks, they are already in top 16.
I'll go check.
I think that's how that works.
Either top 16 or top 24. 1, 2.
Well, we have 22 players, so the play-in has to be to get to top 16.
Yes, you are right. So it's
So
probably all the people that went 6-0. I'm assuming.
No, that's 6-0 and strength of schedule 5-1s because there were only 2 6-0s from each day.
Yep, that's right.
Depending on if the 6-0 won their pair down. So, because by the time they got to 5-0, I think there were 5. All right. Well, we're working out some logistics on my helper here. He's going to get the player names of the people and the deck names of the people that will be playing on our casting table. Trying to clear up my voice a little bit here. As I said, this is my first time, so I will try to pay attention to commentary. Let me know what's up. Yeah. And for the 5 of you watching, you have other Keyforge friends. Go ahead and blast out the link. Let's get some more people in here and see if we can get a few more people watching the Day 2 Finals for Origins.
So first off, We have George Kegel with our match. He is on this side.
Do you want to type that in? All right. We're going to get our names edited now. They're about to start up. So on the left side, the black shirt player on the left is
George.
You want to type that in there?
Yeah. George.
Stop typing.
It's not typing.
All right, George.
George, I love his name, by the way.
And we'll go, it is Mastanail, like Master of Nails, Mastanail. The first.
Not the first second, the first.
He is the first of his name.
All right, and then Lucas.
And then we have
side.
Lucas on the right. We're going to edit that for you all. We have Lucas. Is it Lucus?
Lucas.
AS.
They're very collar.
They are.
Hot right now.
And he is
What name do we got?
Fatima.
Fatima.
Fatima. Yeah. Whiz. Whiz. Of the Noxious Dungeon.
The Noxious Dungeon.
All right, I will go get these to them, and then I'll.
All right, those are the two that we have playing against each other. And we're going to kind of let it be a surprise for all of us as they play, because your opponents don't have that information either.
All right, so it looks like George went first, calling Mars and putting down a mother gun.
All right, that's I didn't get to see the full hand, but that's probably his low house count. Big opening turn for Lucas. He got 4 logos first turn play. Gets an amber out of that. I believe that's Strange Gizmo. So we know the board is going to be cleared upon that first key being initiated.
Robnar.
And that's what? Drobbernaut and is that Grok?
Yep.
That is also a very strong, and he's going to fight right away. He's going to remove that 1 amber gained from the
And
where did the amber didn't fall off, right?
yeah,
It should have,
The amber should have fallen off. The Grok will return to his hand
because
with
he's
the
going to
Drummernaut
be
fight.
healed. It is a little interesting letting him be hurt, but that seems like a miss, right? That amber should be
The amber
gone.
should be gone.
Grok is one of the better Brobnar cards in this set. Well, as the casters over here, I don't know if we should say anything, but
We'll leave it as is. But
yeah.
If it is a 1 amber game, ladies and gentlemen, there may be a mix-up.
All right, we got a shout out to Colby. Good luck. Colby is not on stream right now, but I do see him. He looks very serious, but he knows what he's doing. I have utmost faith in his abilities as a player. He has not had great luck against me, but he is a fantastic player.
Uh-oh. I think they're calling. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will be back. I have my own event I will be participating in, but you will be able to hear my commentator's friend smooth voice for the rest of the match, I guess.
All right, thank you for your helping set up. We'll be here. All right, the game is continuing, so we've got some more action going on. So it looks like George is trying to control the board, keeping his opponent's board clear. That's a big deal in AOA because a lot of the amber comes from reaping, so if you can generally keep your opponent's board clear, that really affects your amber generation because that is where you need to get it from. This does put Lucas in a tricky situation. I do believe I see lights out. You don't have like the greatest targets for that, but you can at least remove Grok from the field for a short period of time. His Untamed, I see there's seeds there. That looks like Key Charge. I'm not sure what the 6th card is. It's buried a little bit. It has amber on it, so there's not all that many choices of what it can be, but I can't see enough of the picture. All right, let's see. Ben, you want to pass up? All right. All right, so he did go Shadows with the Umbra. He did Lights Out. Good call, because the Drummernaut is probably the one you want to keep on the field. And then it's passed back to George, who is on for Amber. Let's see if the check situation can occur here. Obviously, can get to 5 with Brobnar. His hand seems to not be Brobnar, so he's not going Brobnar. And what do we've got here? We've got Destroy Them All. Great card. Oh, wow. It just keeps coming for George. I don't know. I think I might have actually targeted Strange Gizmo there. Just to make sure that if I do have a good board presence, which it looks like he will, I probably would have got rid of Strange Gizmo over Library of Babel. Library of Babel is a 1 in 3 hit for their player. So 1 out of 3 draws, based on your deck composition at that moment, is actually good for you. The rest of the time, it does nothing. So I would have definitely targeted Strange Gizmo. He has no other option just to go Swindle, steal the 3, pass the turn. And sealed, that's not a bad card. Okay, back to George. Alpha Omega's a thing, so once you place Swindle, your turn is done. Let's see, what's George thinking here? He's got some Brobnar in hand, he's got Dremonaut on the field. I don't think he can get back to check this turn, which is what he's probably analyzing. I really don't like the Gizmo still in the field, though. I definitely would have removed that. Okay, there we go. There's the Brobnar board state again, knowing that as soon as the opponent forges, it's going to go away. Like, that's something you just got to play with, right? The Gauntlet of Command, Dremonaut, and Grok in play is all very real threats. So with all that in play, what is Lucas going to do? He's still not in a great position. He's going to Glimmer to get Lights Out back, I think. No, he Glimmered for Swindle. Well, I guess that's the thing. I'm not sure I make that same call, but we'll see how that works out for him. Swindle's not a card that I really want to rely on. And now that your opponent knows it too, so we'll see. I guess he does know once he forges, everything goes away. So I guess that's a little bit less risk with the Swindle, because if the forge comes back to him, the board wipe, he gets board advantage because he plays first. But he does go to check. Grok's in play, so the check is obviously not a required stand. He does power up his Nox. I would like to note in, Nox doesn't gain power counters, so there's no actual requirement to put power counters on Nox. But it is helpful to people to know that the power's there for yourself. There's no competitive requirement to put them on there, though. And then he is going to double kill to take 2 Amber. I actually like that play. It didn't get him to check, though, so that's a little rough. I generally, in Sealed, try to keep them off key as much as I can, especially in AOA. So I see some comments about maybe letting it go. I agree with George's sequence there. Even though the Gizmo, I don't know. Yeah, the Gizmo is still a thing. But if you think you can keep them off the key long enough to forge your first key, it could pay off for him. So we'll see how the sequence turns out. All right, we've got I think he played that just for Amber. Those furtive investments. Then he's got Lamindra and Umbra. Let's see if that helps out. Elusive on Umbra is a big deal. Direct damage normally takes care of all that, though, so we'll see how that works. Grok fighting into Elusive is actually really good. Amber Denial. He is going to go ahead and pop the seed and get back Nerve Blast, which he uses immediately to deal 2 damage to Grok. Grok is now sitting on 3 damage. Yep. So 3 damage on Grok. Grok's not looking very good. Man, yeah, there's a commentary from Cura Mode, another the BDQ guys, about Strange Gizmo being there. Like, if George loses this game because of Strange Gizmo, it was that one play that turned it, and that's what this game's about. All those micro decisions adds up to a win or a loss. Strange Gizmo is a lot of power for the person that has it in play because they can control the game state. They know their hand, and every card you play is going to die at some point in time, guaranteed. Unless George has more artifact removal that we don't know about. So I didn't look at the deck list before, so that could be a thing. So maybe he was relying on getting another answer for another artifact. Still kill Strange Gizmo first, because Library of Babel is an okay card if there's one of them. It's a lot better of a card if there's more than one of them, because then you start have a higher percentage chance of getting an actual Logos card on your draw. But it looks like we're at a decision point here. They're really thinking about the turn. Probably should really think about the turn. It's pretty big. His opponent's on a key. If he forges it, Strange Gizmo goes off. Everything will die. He obviously can stop him with Screech Bomb from any house. So I play a high hand here, right? So it's hard to see his hand. I think I'm seeing a bunch of shadows. But he goes back to Brobnar. So he's going to fight in to an elusive creature. Doesn't matter which one. And his opponent will lose an Amber. Oh no, he plays Drummer not to heal. Wait, I'm not sure exactly the sequence of just happened. All right, so his opponent should have already lost 2 Amber because he fought Rook. Okay, yeah, there it is. And then he's gonna go ahead and pop Screech Bomb for 2 more, so it takes his opponent all the way down to 3. I don't actually know if I pop Screech Bomb there. I probably would have saved it for a turn my opponent's in check when I'm calling a different house, because Grok has been so effective. Alright, we're back on Lucas. Lucas has got a Logos, Untamed, and 1 Shadow, and we think the 1 Shadow is probably still Swindle. So let's see if he just swindles here. Trying to clear the board with his... Well, but no, because then Grok will wipe him out again. So he's got to go outside of Shadows, do something effective here. So let's see. I'm guessing Logos, and that's what he's pulling. Standardized testing is going to kill Lamindra and Drummernauts. So that's a good call. Drummernauts off the board again. I see some comment about the shadows. I think just letting him constantly Grok him down is probably not the way. So I'm okay with going Logos here to cycle your hand. Lucas has got to see more cards if he's going to have a chance to answer what's going on. And he has, with the helper bots, he's got a chance to actually see a lot more cards right now. Because now he's going to draw 4 cards. He didn't get to check, which is somewhat of a problem. Let's see, what do we got here? So we're going to Mars hand. We knew he had a big Mars hand. He picks up the Sky Patrol or something like that, the Squadron. He shows 3 Mars cards. He kills Pip Pip. Pip Pip is an okay creature, nothing fantastic there. He fights through the Helper Bot, kills him. He's gonna place double Dominators on Grok. That's kind of gross. Oh no, that's not a double Dominator. So he places a Dominator next to Grok, and then his Squadron comes back. Squadron combos kind of well with Mother Gun. I haven't actually seen that in play yet, but that's a thing we've just saw. Alright, there's the Swindle. He is gonna go to the check. This time he knows his opponent can, from what he sees on field, his opponent can't use Grok to take him off a key here. So he has the perfect Strange Gizmo board state if he forges. Oh, but there's Ronnie. Ronnie stopped that from happening. Now remember, George wouldn't even be in this like threat situation if Strange Gizmo wasn't there. And he had that shot. Oh, Lamindra next to Dominator. So you have an elusive Dominator. He plays Bad Penny. Nope, he decides to discard it. That kind of hit the field, though, so I guess that's fine. This is still the first round. This isn't the final event. No one's going nuts over anything here. He's going to Nerve Blast the Lamindra. Good call. You cannot have an elusive Dominator sitting on the board. Does he play a creature here, though? Because if he plays a creature, Grok can pretty much stop him. Nope. He does the 1 Nerve Blast, passes turn. He is super relying on Strange Gizmo to save. save the game for him. And I think that was probably a good call here. What is that? Was that? Oh, man. Oh, that's a swindle. Oh, man. So let's count this. Swindle has been played 3 times in this game. 2 for Lucas, 1 for George. I don't think Lucas was counting on a swindle being played there. I don't think I would have counted on a swindle being played there. But that is what just happened. So now he's in a much harder situation where his opponent's on a key. I don't know if he can get back to a key without putting a creature on the board. Although if he puts a creature that has at least 2 power, Groke can't stop him. I still don't know if he can get back to a key through Untamed here. What is that? Okay, so he's exhausting all Mars. Good call there. He's playing his Seed, which will go away if he forges, but he's not on a key. George does get his first key. Man, so George has the key. Looking in a pretty good situation, even if Gizmo Fault goes off this time. He plays Grunk Buggy with Strange Gizmo still in play, though. I think I hold that, right? Like, that's a really good card in Sealed, especially with what we're all seeing from George. George has a lot of big creatures. I don't think I play the Grump Buggy, and then I kind of let my opponent fire off the Gizmo, and then play Buggy, knowing I already have a significant advantage of, because one, he's been already controlling all of his opponent's creatures anyway, and all of my creatures are big. So let's see what happens there, because I'm pretty sure that's Grump Buggy. That with Grump Buggy in play, it's just gonna go away soon, unless he thinks he can just keep powering through and forge 3 keys. We've got 2 of the same Logos artifact. I'm not good at identifying the art, so I'm not sure what that card is. I know every card in the set, but is that Quantum Finger Trap? I think that's the one where you can switch those creatures' positions. If that's what it is, I think that must be what that is. I see hands. They look like fingers, so I'm guessing that's Quantum Finger Trap. Yep, there we go. It's Quantum Finger Trap. All it does is switch positions of battle lines. It can be good. Most of the time, it is not that significant, but it gives you an amber and it put him on a key. So that is what matters the most right here. He did not put creatures in the field, so Groke cannot deny him amber. His keys cost 8 because of Grump Buggy, so he is actually not on a key yet. So that might have been the good call to play Grump Buggy, because with this dominant of a field, if he keeps playing creatures, I don't know if Lucas forges. If this ends up being a no-forge game, I guess the Library of Babel would have ended up being the right call? Maybe? Jupiter from our chat is asking if CoDameron is playing today. He is playing. He is about 3 tables down from this match. He's looking pretty serious over there. I can't see the keys from here. But he always looks pretty serious when he plays. In person, he's a great guy, super fun, very friendly. But when he's playing across from you, he pretty much has that serious look on his face, as almost all of us do. Because this game takes thought. You got to really think through your turn, especially in a main event where you cannot take it back. So let's get back to the game here. We have George on 6, Lucas on 7, but that wasn't enough to forge. Mighty Tiger will kill Groke, finally killing Groke. And then we have Tandalin, who is the artifact destroyer, but he only does a little bit of damage. So now he is on a key at 7 because George only has 1 5-power creature. And George doesn't forge because Tandalin is a 5 or higher. So both keys are costing 7 right now. So does George have another 5-power creature just to play here? Because that's the call. You don't want him to forge. Or do you? Do you want him to forge? Maybe. I don't know. So Hypno Beam. Oh, pro move. That's pretty cool. He will never get to use Tandalin because he's never going to call Untamed. But that's 9 power sitting on the field that's going to make your opponent's keys cost +1 for a long, long time. That was somewhat of a misorder of play, I guess. He could have played that for 2 damage if he had done Mother Gun first. But he passed his turn. He is on check, and his opponent's keys now cost 8 because of Tantalon. Oh, with Gauntlet of Command, he can destroy the Strange Gizmo with Tantalon. That is interesting. I don't know if I had seen that originally. That could become very real here very shortly. Or is Tantalon archive or artifact? I thought no, it's not artifact. It's archive. Never mind. Ignore me. Tantalon will not help him in that way. So we've got Hidden Stash. Umbra's going to the field. Probably just gonna die soon. Skeleton Key coming to the field. None of this moves them off key, so there's your second key. We might actually see a 3-0 victory here. For a play that was questionable in my opinion, the origin. I don't know if this was George's experience going through the tournament, but if it was, maybe he was confident that this is how it was going to go. All right. George is back on the action. His opponent's keys cost 8. His opponent has 8. And he busts out too much to protect. Perfect pairing with Grumbuggy. Then he continues to follow up with I'm not sure what he played. Maybe a Whistling Darts or something. And then he played Merkins. The top card was Poke. What a card to draw into Merkins with. That was really awesome. And then he got to draw a card for it. And then he plays Treasure Map for 1. And he is on key. Does obviously Skeleton Key's an answer, but he just called Shadows. That can't be something he wants to do. I think he has to. I don't see any other way to get his... because of Grumbuggy, he can get his opponent off of a key. He's going to go Shadows and Sucker Punch Merkins. Then he is going to do Furtive Investments. I believe this is going to allow him to get 2 more. If it's... Alright, so he's at 8 Amber. He captures the 1 to get his opponent off key. Passes back, but I don't think he has any answers for what's going to come next unless he draws into something. He did not. So if George Amber pushes here, that will probably be it. So let's see how much he can get to. He's going to go ahead and archive and get his Amber back. Then he will probably... Let's see. He's got 1 more Reap in him. That puts him on 7. Then he's got the... Tyler's Croakeg dies right now, if that's what that card is. Someone might want to say something about that. And then we're going to see if he forges. So that's 8 Amber. Does Lucas have an answer to stop from being 3-0'd? He's looking. All right, that got cleared up. The magic of people watching your game. Is there a deck check? Oh, we have a random deck check at the last moments of the game. That happened in a game I played yesterday, right after the 3rd key was forged. The guy was like, "What? I'm gonna be disqualified? This is my 6th game." So there we go. Let's see. Is there an answer for 8 Amber? I don't think there is an answer for 8 amber here. Let's see. That is Sucker Punch. We knew that was his archive. It can't kill anything. All it can do is give him an amber. Discarded. He can lights out for another amber. All that can do is kind of return his own card. What else? I don't think there's an answer here. He can capture 1, and his opponent is gonna forge his 3rd key, and that is gonna be a wrap. Shaking the hand, that's it. Good game, George. And hey, you knew better than us. Strange Gibosmo of the field. Every single time I kill that before Library of Babel. But in the end, great game. We saw 2 players do their best, some missteps here and there, but that is Keyforge. So we're gonna go to this and see what we see. That's good. How are you?
Joe.
You from here?
No. I'm up in Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah, this is, have you met Colby?
I met him on Thursday.
This is his,
Yeah.
this is Colby's show.
Great.
So, I'm on Team SAS, so I was going to comment on 3 of us went 5-1 in our playing day. I went 4-2, so just doing commentary for them.
I played the 12-year-old from my LGS.
All right.
You're not back yet.
Yeah. Look.
The
So,
audio is recording, but you're not back. This is offline.
okay. Here we are with Eric from Team SAS. Talk to us about round 1 for you in Ohio.
Well, round 1 of day 2 was the only round of day 2 for me. I was defeated by a very strong competitor named Eli, who is actually, I understand, to be 12 years old.
That's like my son.
And it's just like my difficulties.
All right.
So I understand him to be, he's 12, I think. He's from, the cool thing is that he actually, I just moved to Indiana about a month ago, and I've been playing him at some of these LGS tune-up games. Like,
so this wasn't a fluke. Like he's
no, he's legit. He's beat me at the LGS before, and he's like a bit of a wonderkind at the game, and he has a gross deck. Like his deck is like all the Shadow Steel cards. So like on turn 1, I played.
So talk to us about that, because AOA is different than Coda. So when you say all the Shadow Steel
in AOA, all the Shadow Steel cards.
So what are we talking about? We're talking about Ronnie.
So he's got a couple Ronnies, I think.
Okay. Talk about Nerve Blast.
He's got at least 2 Nerve Blasts.
That's pretty sick.
Yes.
Even if it's just 2 of both, that's something.
Plus he's successfully throwing. He played very well. He's successfully throwing stars, 3 creatures and then 2 creatures. For the amber. He got 5 amber.
Relatively low value card most of the time.
Does throwing stars have an amber staple to it? No, it doesn't. Okay. So he got 5 amber off of throwing stars in the first 3 turns.
Which also means that's 5 kills. Were they his own or yours?
2 of them were his. 3 of them were mine. The math just worked out perfectly. I'm sure he manipulated it to make it work out perfectly.
Great. Like that's beautiful.
I mean, and one of them was Ronnie, so Ronnie's useless.
I mean, like back in Coda, how often do we see Secret Needle or our own Nurture? Like
Yeah.
that's 3 Secret Needles with 1 card.
It's a thing. It's absolutely a thing. And so he played extremely well, but my problem was he took me off check for the first key 4 turns in a row.
Wow.
So
which in AOA is not something you're planning
for.
No, because you don't even expect that to happen.
And we've had conversations before about how we plan on trying to anticipate what people are calling in houses. He called shadows at one point 3 times in a row. So
you think he was holding his check cards?
I think he
do you think he drew into that?
I think he drew into several of them. because there was at least one turn he drew into a throwing stars for sure, because he could have used it successfully the turn before if he had it in his hand.
Well, that's different. I'm talking about moving.
By the way, he has routine jobs in the deck as well. Two. At least two. I don't know. He didn't get through the whole deck. He beat me before it happened. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that happens. It's definitely a thing.
No, but I mean, like, listen, my deck was, but for the stream, my deck was, I'll show you.
Yeah, your deck was okay.
Yeah, my deck was fine.
I may or may not have beat him with my 4-2 deck.
No, that definitely happened. But I beat Nathan, so, or we collectively beat Nathan.
Yes.
Whatever. Here, I'll tell you what. While I'm talk for a second, so I'll scan this in, so I don't care if I have the master.
Well, here we can show them first.
Well, no, I'm just saying it's not scanned in.
No, we can hold it up.
So but I'm saying some enterprising crazy person on stream could.
Oh, I got you.
All right, it's been scanned. Here is the deck list.
All right, let's focus that up some. Maybe not.
Bigger background behind it.
Oh, there we go. Thank you, Ben. There's the deck.
So
as you can see.
You can see I have lots of fighty stuff in Brobnar, right? I had Cowfine, Drummerknot. I had a Gauntlet. 2 Relentless Assaults came in very big handy for me. The Cybergiant rig a couple times I did massive stuff with, right? You could see the Mars was fine. It wasn't great, but it was fine.
All right, I'm gonna take the picture down and we're just talking about the list from here.
Yeah, so the Mars was fine. The big reason I chose this deck over my other choices was it's got double Doorstep to Heaven, and a Gatekeeper, and a couple of other. The Abade is the one that plays Capture 3, right? So I had Abade the Grim and a couple other Surmeros, 2 Surmeros, so like capture on reap, that capture everything they reap.
Yeah.
And then I had Merrick the Marked, which is I think the 5/1 guy who
capture
when you swing in. And I had an Armor Smith, so I could put 2 armor on him. So I would often swing in with that guy with the Armor Smith. One time I even activated the Armor Smith's ability to steal 3, to capture 3 rather. Yeah. And then after that I would play. I'd play something.
Well, but let's talk about some of the really cool things you had here and why you had so much success. So I'm seeing from what we talked about before you ever played this, I'm seeing Cowfine, Gauntlet of Command, Relentless Assault. So how did that go for you?
So it worked. The matchup worked very well against decks that either cared about the board.
Yeah.
Or
which is most of AOA.
Most decks. Turns out that deck was not one deck that cared about the board. The deck I just played.
If it had 2 Ronnies, 2 Nerve Blasts, 2 Routine Jobs, it does not care about the board.
In fact, it would almost prefer not to have a board.
Yeah.
So that was very useless. I have Spirit's Way. Spirit's Way won me my play-in match, round 6 yesterday. In order to get to this round, I had to make a very tactical play with Spirit's Way, and I got there. But against Eli, Spirit's Way is a completely dead card because A, he doesn't really have a board presence, and B, he literally 2/3 of the creatures I saw were power 2 or less.
Yeah.
Sutterkin, he had a Harlan Mindlock. He had, he had the Ronnies that are 2 power. He had all these creatures that are 2 power.
You could clear his board, but it didn't matter.
Well, no, I could play something. It was so bad that there was a time when I was getting close to him. When he was coming on, I took him off check on the 3rd key twice.
Yeah.
Doorstep and Gatekeeper. But then there was a time when I was legitimately considering playing Spirit's Way just to kill one of his creatures because my Amber control that was left in the deck was so low that I needed to take all the things off the board that could reap. Yeah. Right? So I almost sacked 3 of my Brobnar creatures just to kill the Curator. It was really stupid. I was
that's a bad situation.
No, it was just bad. It's too fast.
So what I'm seeing from a competitive standpoint when we analyze decks is we have a very good fighty Brobnar set that can clear board and have presence.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a very good Amber Control Sanctum set.
Did you get there?
But he has
He has
an entire deck full in Mars.
You know who you get to play.
And in the end, every time he had Mars, he wasn't going to be doing as effective of a turn. And that's what lost him this game. He also doesn't have any artifact control. So in the end, he kind of stalled out against an Amber push deck because his Mars doesn't help him do anything at all.
Yeah, no, I have.
So that's what happened.
I have some. I have some. Yeah, there it was. I have some intermittent cards, and if Eli had played the game in a way to run up all of the score, I would have been in trouble. I mean, like doorstep would have been much more effective, but Eli played it very smart. He rarely got above 7 or 8. So doorstep took him off check, but it didn't really do much. But I do have slight interlude here. I have a fun announcement. It seems like next round we have a confirm. The next round that will be on stream will be the man himself, CoDameron, Colby, versus Team SAS member Nathan Westlake, a.k.a. CoryThan.
And the runner and owner of Decks of Keyforge, one of the origin story parts of our team, as far as the first 4 members of Team SAS was Eric, myself, Joe, and Nathan. And we're going to see, he's currently #1 in the world. This will decide whether he keeps that today.
This will. I did not see. I'm curious to see if George, a.k.a. what's his?
I don't know.
He's #2.
It starts with a C. So right now...
We're looking it up. Sorry for the non-dramatic.
Yes.
Compacta.
Compacta.
George, a.k.a. Compacta.
So right now, there is... If I can get this to do... What did he do?
Z not in any way promoting this list because he's currently 3rd on the list.
Hey,
he's only
it
stay
might
there
not
for about
ever
5
happen
minutes.
again, man.
It's going to...
There it is. CoryThan #1, Compacta... Oh, it faded out again. Compacta is... I don't know. Come on. There we go. Compacta's #2, and I am 3rd.
Yes, and if you scroll a little bit further down there, I'm 8. But like, I'm not going up. I won't move.
You will not gain amber today.
I won't gain amber, but the question is, will I go down? So
down from 8. It depends. You will go down from 8.
I will go down from 8 if
someone that wins that has not played before.
Not that. If someone wins that's specifically not Nathan or George. If Ben wins, he'll pass me.
No, because the winner of this will be at 620.
Yeah.
If they'd never played before.
Right. So all I'm saying is
you need Nathan or Compacta to win.
That's exactly what I just said.
That's what I said too.
You got to stream. Okay, so anyway.
We both said it differently.
Enough about our nonsense and obsession over the rankings. But I will tell you this. Having the #1 and #2 ranked players in the world currently alive in this tournament is a very exciting thing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We're going to bring you one of them live next round, the man himself. And
we will be casting together here.
We will. I'm in. I'm in now. I'm in for the duration.
I'm going to let Eric talk for a minute. I need to grab some water because I was talking through the first round.
Sure.
And then I'm going to go see if Colby wants to talk about anything before his round.
Oh, wait, I can't put him. Never mind. I was going to put mine. Hold on 1 second, team.
Yeah, I want to
No, I know, but he's not on the stream.
We wanted to be you and then I get you.
Yeah. No, you and Nathan are. Your game is going live.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I talk about my game?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna interview Colby, and by that I mean Colby's just gonna talk for a bit. And Colby, tell us about your game that you just played.
Wacky game. So, we're not talking about any other games of my game. Okay. Just talking about this game. Just making sure.
Why wouldn't? No. Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure that I am not getting any advantages by being on this stream, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not telling you anything about what happened when I got shellacked last round. Not at all.
You'll tell me later.
I will tell you later.
Yeah,
right now, I would like you to tell all of the lovely viewers out there about your last game.
What a wacky game.
Well, eat some of this.
Please stay on the camera because I need your facial reactions. So, he's playing Logos Dis Shadows, and I go, okay, my Soul Snatcher is not going to be good in this match because those houses don't kill, right? So I open with my Invasion Portal, and I go a little bit of a weak Mars turn, and I'm holding this, I have a Seed and a Dust Witch in my hand. I'm going to drop them in a couple turns, right? They come down, and the Dust Witch doesn't die for a second. So I'm holding at this point, I have a Dis turn coming up, and I have like 4 good cards in my hand. Remember, I've got Banish, I've got Key Abduction, and I've got Collector Worm to not kill things under my own sigil, under my own Soul Snatcher. But I don't want to play it, because all of his guys are power 2, I can't attack into it with the Collector Worm, they'll still die. Instead, his turn comes around, he puts down a Soul Snatcher. And I go, oh.
Pam?
Yeah, now there's 1 Soul Snatcher on the board, and I go, great, we'll just play this game. And I play a 2nd Soul Snatcher. So now there's 2 Soul Snatchers on the table. And I follow up my Dust Witch with a Papanga Anka and a Pose Pixies. And for the most of the game, he couldn't kill the Dusk Witch or the Pose Pixies. I got 3 good turns at a Dusk Witch. The Throwing Stars couldn't get it under the Papanga Anga. And I only gave him 1 guy to attack with as much as possible. There was a couple Reap to Stun effects out. There were a couple of times when I banished his guys and I collected worm some guys that they couldn't get him off the table. But the Throwing Stars was his tool that didn't work. Apparently my Pose Pixies kept me on a key for a long time because he had a Swindle that he couldn't play until he got it off the table. And I just pushed as much, like, I didn't kill a single one of his units voluntarily. I killed as many as I had. I had this great turn set up where I would have used the Beam Bolter from Mars to hit my Gub and move it to the other side of the table where the Papanga Anga is not. So it loses its own buff and the Papanga Anga's buff, and it would die, and I would get 2 Amber. And then I would Key Abduction.
Seems good.
And I would kill my own Mind Warper, but I had my Lash, I had my Charette, I was just playing the don't let him have a key for as many turns as possible game, and his Swindle hit, and then he ran out of steel, and I got it.
Nice.
But apparently, like, Pose Pixies was a champion, I didn't even realize it.
That is a really, that's fascinating. We'll see if that helps you in the next matchup. So, for the viewers, for the benefit of the viewers out there, I will say that this is a particularly interesting matchup for many reasons, not the least of which is that both Z and I are friends with both the competitors. Hi there. But we have actually been, this is at least the Airbnb semifinals. It could be the Airbnb championship.
Right.
So there are 4 of us that shared an Airbnb this weekend. Myself, other Team SAS members, Ben, and Nathan, and Colby. And so all of us made day 2, which was super cool. And then we were joking that we were the best Airbnb in town, for sure.
This is not the first time my entire hotel room at a con has been in the top cut. That happened once in Star Wars.
It's pretty cool. But now 2 of those members will be. I got eliminated last round. Ben got a bye. 2 of those members will be playing each other. So Nathan and Colby will be playing each other.
Yeah, we are.
And so it will be interesting. And Ben is still in the tournament. Ben has a bye, Team SAS member, Ben, and he will be. We will be seeing who he plays. He obviously won't be playing either of them, but in theory, this could be only the semifinal of the Airbnb if Ben continues to win and the winner of this beats them. But it could be the Airbnb final. So it's much more important than any Vault Tour standings, rankings, anything whatsoever. Who wins the Airbnb?
Good luck to everyone.
Yes, indeed.
Thanks for taking over the cast.
Of course,
I'll be
man.
around.
I'm going to be on it for a while because you're not going to lose, right?
Why would I lose?
Well, I mean, you're playing someone halfway decent at least. I'm told he has some history of success in this game.
I think he's won a thing once or twice. I'd never won anything. He's gonna let me win. He's gonna feel bad for me.
We'll see. If I know Nathan, and I think I do, I don't think he's conceding any rounds without lethal damage or what have you on board. But all right, so we are still waiting. I'm looking over here. We have at least one. There were, for the stream, I don't know if this has been mentioned, forgive me because I just got here, but there were 6 preliminary rounds, play-in rounds. So there were, hold on. Yes, so that means all 22 people show up. We originally were unsure whether or not all 22 members of Day 2 were going to show up because we had heard something that there were some people who had qualified for Day 2 but could not, wanted to play the main, knew they couldn't make Day 2, so they had qualifying records, but they might not show up. But it appears, because there are 6 qualifying matches, it appears that we did in fact have all 22 members who made Day 2 show up, which means that the first 6 matches that just occurred...
Keep talking.
Okay, the first 6 matches that just occurred were the partial round of 32, if you will, and we are now into the full round of 16. And the full round of 16 contains many great players, and with some technical things. Did George win the last round?
I don't know.
That wasn't the one you casted, it's on here.
I don't know, I didn't cast it.
Oh, that's right. Did George win the last round? Isn't that the game you casted? Guy with the hat? He did win. All right. Well, we have a cracked staff here that can't remember what... That's all right. I can't remember anything. I'm not one to criticize. I pointed him at you. It's fine. Whatever. Gotcha. Okay. So, George, who was number 2 in the world currently, did win last round. So the matchup is still live for George versus any number of interesting people. We don't know who he's going to play next round. So that's pretty cool. Colby is currently trying to figure out his setup. And yes, Cure Mode, I agree. I have seen Colby's deck. It is disgusting. It's obviously a little bit draw dependent. I mean, he's talked about that on stream at length, I'm sure.
My deck's garbage. I'm just a good player, right?
You are also a good player, but your deck is not garbage. I don't think you can get here with a garbage deck.
I pulled it out of a box 2 days ago. It's nothing.
Right. So for the rest of us on stream who know that his deck is at least halfway decent, if he ends up playing this game, so having seen Nathan's deck, having seen Colby's deck, I can tell you that that it's going to be a big problem for Colby if he gets an opening hand he doesn't like, mulligans, and then mulligans into something like 2 key abductions in his opening hand. That's going to be very bad for him in the long run of the game because he's just basically playing them for amber at that point. This is not the sort of thing that he wants to have happen to him. So if you give me just a moment, actually, hold on, sit for a second. So I'm going to do a thing here. This is Nathan. Say hi, Nathan.
Hello.
So Nathan is about to play Colby, and I was telling them this is probably this is at least the Airbnb semifinals. It could be the Airbnb finals, depending upon how Ben does and whether or not you meet anyone. But without getting into too much detail, how are you feeling about your matchup going in here, playing the man, 4-spotted top 8?
I just got to watch his deck in action. The Soul Snatcher Collector Worm is a pretty cool combo, so need to try to be careful of that. Most of my effects are destroy effects. I don't have any archiving shenanigans, so yeah, just gonna see about making more amber than he does, or having more.
Yeah. Can someone in chat tell me if you can hear audio right now? Because I'm not seeing any audio on our things. I just want to make sure that audio is coming across. Oh, wait. Yep, there it is. Okay, so it looks like audio is coming across. All right. So, yeah. So at least it'll be an interesting matchup. There may be some draw dependencies, as you know. Is inherent in any game of Keyforge, yes.
Some decks have more of that.
That's true.
You have too many alphas in one house, and that can be tough.
It's very true. So are you feeling any additional pressure with the need to maintain your top rating in the standings?
No, I think that jet lag has more to do with anything than rankings. But yes, I'm excited to see how this game goes.
This is a pivotal tournament for sure. This has turned into a pivotal tournament with several in the top 10 already in, and obviously anyone who wins will pretty much automatically be in the top 10.
It looked like the both of the 6 nodes are playing, right?
Yeah, so I did the math. I was just saying that before you got here. It looks like because there were 6 play-in matches, that means 22 people showed up. I think that was the number that qualified. So I think everyone showed up. There was some belief that people would not possibly show up due to some sort of scheduling conflict, but we have a full field, which means I could have actually done the bracket last night, but oh well. Anyway, best of luck, Nathan. Go get him. I'm going to step away for a second and check what the pairings are. I'll be right back. Maybe Z will come in and talk for a second.
All right, I'm back. I needed some water. I've been, I left Texas like 10 days ago to go to Florida, and then we drove up here from Universal. So my voice is a little rough. It's just been a crazy fun time. It looks like we have Colby set up on the right and Nathan set up on the left. We have Colby's name in there for his deck. We don't have Nathan's deck name. I'm going to go grab that real quick and get it in there.
Okay, all right, squad. So we are back, and
I got the name of the deck list.
Oh, you did? I got the actual deck list. How's that?
I didn't want to do the deck list. I just wanted to be kind of surprised. I thought that was fun last time.
Well, I will say that for
Because
people
it's
on
sealed.
fair enough, but for people on stream, they have already seen Colby's deck list in entirety at least like 4 or 5 different times.
Yeah, but they haven't seen Nathan's. I like the surprise.
All right. Well, we'll keep
So
Nathan's
let's
deck a surprise.
type this in. Denim, Denim. Oh wait, it's not type. Oh yeah.
Talk to me.
Comma. Go ahead and
Hang
do
on.
it.
I'm gonna move this mic for a second because I can't type when it.
Did a line break. Perfumed, Denim, comma, perfumed, province, Rook. Sweet. Nathan is the perfumed province Rook.
I think that's.
I think that's perfect.
Hold on, I need one more. Oh, is that his deck?
That's his deck.
Okay. And we do have the players identified correctly. We are ready to rock and roll here. So chat, when you mention quality, we apologize if the quality is coming in and out. We're restricted by the quality of our Wi-Fi here. We're lucky enough to get Wi-Fi access. For those of you that were hanging around Atlanta when Colby and I were doing the stream in Atlanta, we took 3 hours to get Wi-Fi access there. And so we're very happy that we just have any Wi-Fi access whatsoever. Although I'm not. What are you looking for? You just trying to take us off? Yeah, okay.
There
That's
we
fine. No need to see us. Let's watch the game in front of us. So.
All right, we've got our hands drawn. This is the match that I was most interested in seeing. I was going to go watch this, whether it was on stream or not, but here we are commentating.
Indeed. I was hoping not to be able to watch this match, but things go how they do.
I was hoping you weren't going to be watching this too, but I'm happy to
be here with you,
my
Z.
buddy Eric.
There we go. All right, let's rock and roll. So it looks like how many cards you haven't had did Colby get the play here?
Yeah, I was trying to follow who that. Okay, Grove Keeper first.
Colby dropping a Grove Keeper.
I didn't see all of the hand, but it looks like he only had the one untamed. So yeah, that's the right play. Obviously, Grove Keeper's not the
here come the shadows.
best first play.
So he got
is that Knuckles Bolton?
That's a
and
Knuckles
a skeleton
key, and he played a Miasma for Amber.
Yes, and then we have
Mindworm,
Mindwarper, which are both going to get more power, so that's actually somewhat significant.
Yes, and Beam Buckler as well. Being able to have Mindworm survive swings is very big.
Huge first turn, second turn play. Four Mars cards on first, plus power on your Mindworm. The Mindwarper is probably more significant there because that's consistent, real Amber control. And if the Grove Keeper stays in play, and if that gets bigger,
yeah, I think
that's big.
The Grove Keeper is just a 3 power, so I think Nathan.
You think he Boltons it?
I mean, I think killing the Grove Keeper very soon is a very high priority, unless Nathan has access to board clears, which he might. Ironically, there's certain board clears, such as Spirit's Way, that Colby has now put his 2 creatures in the path of.
Only one, though.
Well,
so
one,
far.
right, but so as long as he doesn't play, if he waited until next turn to play it, right, then they would both be in damage of 3.
So he goes Glimmer here. He gets Miasma back, because that's the only thing that was in his discard, so he didn't have a choice.
That's fair.
So I'm not sure if that's actually good for him or not.
Well,
Miasma at this point in the game is probably not good.
It's probably not good, but
I didn't have a choice if he wanted to play Glimmer. You have to return one.
That's true, and I would anticipate that there's a reasonable chance.
So there's a lot of damage going on the board.
He played They're Everywhere.
They're Everywhere. That's not going to kill anything.
No.
So he's drawing back up, passing turn. Grove Keeper is still in play.
Right.
So does he stay in Mars and uses Invasion Portal and Mindwarper Mindworm combo? Because he's got targets. Like if he Mindworms into Glimmer, he kills.
He actually kills Knuckles.
He kills Knuckles.
That's true.
And puts a damage on Nox and kills Glimmer. And Mindworm's alive.
Mindworm would not be alive because Mindworm currently has 1 damage on it.
So he probably doesn't do that.
Right, that's unlikely. Although he could Mindworm into Knuckles, which is not as good, but it doesn't kill Mindworm because it's elusive.
Well, he could Mindworm into Knuckles, and then the other dude could kill Knuckles and live.
Yes.
And that takes Nox down to a 3.
Yes.
I am not a fan of Nox. I've seen it do some good things, but in general, it is. very easy to manipulate its power.
I think we both agree that in an Archon format, you're not likely to see very many great decks with
That's
Nox
true.
in them.
That's
But
true.
I mean, there are definitely some.
Wait,
things...
are you saying you'll see an AOA deck in Arkham?
I mean, it's possible. Just statistically,
I'm joking.
there's someone out there who's only going to open AOA decks and then is
All
going
right,
to
so
join
he
an Archon
did go
tournament,
untamed, so
yes.
he is not. That another Grove Keeper?
Yes, he is at least 2 Grove
What
Keepers
is that
in the deck.
third card? Is that Pixies?
Rustnauer and then
Pose Pixies?
Pose Pixies. Remind me what
Ooh.
Pose Pixies does.
So, when you steal from your opponent or try to capture their opponent, it comes from the common pool.
Right.
So it completely knocks out capture, because that's just literally giving them amber.
Right.
And it minimizes steal. Steal will gain you amber, but not take amber. So he's using Glimmer. He got
Gold, they're
back.
everywhere.
They're
Yeah,
everywhere.
that's 100% the correct move
He's
here.
gonna deal some more damage. I still don't think it kills anything, because
It kills
Grove
the
Keepers.
Pixies, doesn't it? No, because you got a
Yeah,
counter.
Grove Keeper. Yeah.
Yeah, this is rough. And then what did? Oh, he played Save the Pack.
Oh, snap!
Snap.
That is definitely worth a chain.
That is a power move right
Bolton
there.
should be dead though.
Bolton should be dead.
That might
Hold
be
on.
a thing. So yeah, you're gonna do your thing, right? Yep. We're gonna make sure that we're playing all fair and good here because Bolton is dead.
Save the Pack. All right.
All right.
I made sure they got that.
The board state is all good. Did you tell it?
Carson was standing over the
Okay,
table. I told
okay,
Carson.
There we go. What is that?
Binding Irons.
3
Your
chains
favorite card.
on top of the 1 chain.
I mean,
So
it's
he
still,
drew to 5,
again,
and now he'll draw to 5 again.
even if the Save the Pack in that instance red gained 4 chains, 100% worth it with that board.
That board, yes.
100%
That was
worth it
a
with that
huge
board.
game changer here because we are 0 key to 0 key. Now one person has a board and the other person doesn't.
Well, for a while they don't.
Banish is just archive. That's fine.
What is that? Is that a
Another no,
That's Cold Week.
Cold a week.
Cold Week on one of the Glimmers?
All right, so the board switched straight back to
It
Colby.
did. So another. We need one of those advantage bars at the bottom. The advantage would now be over that way.
Advantage Colby.
That's right.
Advantage Colby. And he's on 3 amber, and I think Nathan has none? Oh, no, two
Nathan
amber.
had 5. He
Yeah,
captured
it's-
3 with a charrette.
I always keep my Archon above my deck where Colby's discard pile is, so
Yeah.
it's always weird to track some other people's.
Yeah.
So
Well, let it be said that we will not intervene to make sure our teammate is playing fairly. With
this
the,
is true. Ronnie
with the
comes
Knuckles
out, so
play.
that's steal 1. Obviously, we're in shadows. That is Redlock. Redlock's
Redlock.
a decent creature. If you don't play a creature, you gain an amber.
It's super good if you have something like
In AOA,
It makes
is
Swindle
interesting.
really good.
Yeah, I was actually talking about that. If you add 3 Redlocks in a deck and Swindle,
With Swindle, yeah. No,
then
that's,
Swindle doesn't suck.
Right, yeah, that's what I was. I mean, I think Swindle is a slightly below average card, I would say normally. It depends on the matchup.
I think in top competitive play,
Yeah,
you cannot
top
afford to
competition's
skip
not
a
good.
turn like
No.
that most of the time.
But if
that's
you-
what you're doing. You're
but if you
skipping
have,
your turn.
Right, but if you have Redlocks in play, it turns into a really like steal 3, gain
Here
an
we go.
additional 2 is
Invasion
still
Portal.
pretty good.
I love Invasion Portal. It is a super fun
There he
card.
is. So what do you get? What is that?
He got the
It's a 6 power.
6 power,
deals-
1 armor. He only deals 1 damage, but when your opponent reaps, their creatures are stunned, I think.
I think that's correct.
It's a repater. I know that.
Okay, so he's coming up with the Collector Worm, and he's going. Is it a backup?
Yep.
It's backing up the Collector Worm. So.
Oh, wait, no, it can be backup. It doesn't have amber on it.
What is it?
Brainstem Antenna?
Yes.
Brainstem
That
Antenna
is
on a Collector Worm.
Really bad. If he
This
has-
could get bad for Nathan real fast. Collector Worm's one of my favorite cards in set from Mars. And there it is. He played a Mars creature. He readied it. He then is going to start archiving.
Right. Does he have
Um,
more Mars creatures is the question.
Yeah. Does he have another Mars? Oh, yeah, another Mars creature in
What are
hand.
these things that he's...
He has 3 armor left.
Oh, armor. He's doing armor tokens. Mars, is that Mars first?
Mars
Ready,
first.
fight with that into probably what, wrist locks?
Yeah, you got to take Ronnie. You don't want Ronnie in play. You've already seen him play Glimmer.
I don't know what...
Oh.
Did he not fight with Mars? Was that not Mars first?
I think he reaped.
He reaped. Why? It only put him at 4.
I don't know.
All right, well,
I'd definitely take Ronnie off the board, right?
I would think so because you're concerned that Nathan's going to recur them. That's the real problem. It's not worth. I would think it's probably worth losing 1 amber, especially when that amber doesn't put you in check. To
Yeah.
remove Ronnie
All
versus
right, so
functionally from
either
the
way,
game.
we're
Anyway,
at 4 amber to 4 amber.
right.
The board state is definitely in Colby's advantage. But if a board clear comes, it swings real hard to Nathan. So let's see.
Nathan really would like to find something that can remove Collector Worm from the board without
Collector
destroying it.
Worm
Without destroying
is a
him.
gigantic threat right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not backup. He can destroy him.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking.
We were a
I thought
little
it was backup.
confused.
Yeah.
So Charette is there.
Right. Spirit's Way, if he has it, doesn't do it. And Nathan's board is particularly ill-fitted to get rid of Collector Worm because he can't even afford to swing in with the creatures because they would die.
Yeah. Well, I mean, nothing on board is an answer to Collector Worm.
No.
So, like, whatever happens has to come from hand. All right, so we've got Shadows swinging.
He must deal 2 damage if Ronnie killed him.
I think he only does 1.
Well, he just
So
killed
they're
Ronnie.
they're fixing it. It's
Oh, okay.
1.
All right.
It's 1.
Okay.
I'm not sure why the 1 damage was coming.
Maybe there's a save the pack coming in the future. That's my guess.
Let's see. That's a what is that?
Throwing stars.
Throwing stars. Throwing stars is gonna deal.
I think Nathan is setting up a save the pack play. This is the
Oh,
only
for next
logical
turn?
explanation I can have for this setup. Or he has a save the pack in deck. He just have a glimmer to save the pack.
That's true.
Right. He doesn't need to have actual 2 save the pack in
He
hand.
did kill his own Ronnie with the 3rd star to
to
get
put
Amber.
more damage. He's going to be
Now he's
Yaz, but save the
calling
pack.
Mimicry.
Save the pack. Sorry, Mimicry. Save the pack is in his graveyard. So he Mimicry'd save the
His
pack.
opponent also has Save the Pack.
Yeah, he discarded save the pack when he milled the invasion portal earlier.
That's a great play again. Save the Pack twice in 1 game for huge boons.
Yes, but he still does have a very live Collector Worm on board. The nice thing is that Colby just called Mars, so it's unlikely.
Well, he has Invasion Portal. He can always get another.
Yes, he can get 1, but is it worth doing that just for 2 hits? Keeping in mind that Nathan
There's only 1 hit to
Nathan only
do.
has 1 creature, right? So that's why. So Nathan has put himself in a
But that's
decent
still
position
double
here.
reap if he wants it.
Yes, but reaping twice and playing 1 creature is still probably
is
a below
this?
average churn.
We
this
have-
is pain reaction just to
which
kill the
just,
glimmer.
just the Amber and the kill. Soul Snatcher and Lash.
Right.
And Gub, who is just a 1.
And just to
Gub is just a 1 right now, guys.
And just to make sure everyone on stream caught the mimicry earlier, Nathan does have a Maverick mimicry in Shadows.
that was mimicry from
in
Shadows.
Shadows in the deck,
Pretty
which is
crazy.
kind of silly.
Wild Maverick card. I can't say I have any decks out of the 400 decks that I have that have a Maverick that is that well placed.
Yes, it's a little weird because he has not weird. It's a little he has Untamed, right?
Yeah.
Like in the deck, so it's not quite as
He's going through his opponent's deck.
Right,
At
but-
this point, I don't think he's looking for mimicry. He's really just deciding what his. So what just happened when you cycled the deck? It wasn't a mimicry look. He was looking to see what he thinks his opponent is going to
like
call
way to
next.
call. Yeah. Mhm.
That's what he just did. He sees that his opponent does have some. Like obviously, Mars is great for him until the Collector Worm is gone.
Right.
So he's trying to decide if he thinks that's going to happen. He's probably trying to assess how big a threat the Collector Worm is, because right now, if he plays creatures straight into Collector Worm and that double fights, that's literally doing nothing. Like you're just wasting time with them.
Yeah.
So he stays in Untamed.
Kills Gub.
Kills
Plays
Gub.
there everywhere.
2 armor removed. He discards
Bumblebird because it's alpha.
Yeah.
He didn't want to keep that in hand because he wasn't planning on calling Untamed again. He loses his last chain. He plays what's that? A Nox.
Nox.
Nox can.
I still don't know why he didn't play Bumblebird. There everywhere was an alpha. He didn't play Glimmer. I think that was a misplay.
I think my only thought process, it could have been a misplay, but he could have also wanted to deprive Colby of 2 targets.
This is big. Pampaka Anga is the one that gives them +2 power. So
Yes.
now you have a 4/5 power Collector Worm.
But
Archives less people.
Archives less people, but that's not the butt I was going for. The butt I was going
He
for
is
was
now
that he
a
is
Spirit's
in-
Way target
Yes.
if Nathan has that.
He is.
You have a 3 power Death Switch on the board, people. What is going to happen? This could
But
This could be very, very bad for
If
Nathan.
he's got to make a Spirit's Way materialize in his deck. That's the play here. But if that's not the play, I mean, he's got a lot of mandatory
If he
kills.
can't get Duskwitch off the board,
This is bad.
bad things will happen.
Very bad things will happen.
And Colby is in check
Yeah.
with a seed in play. So Nep seed on check, Soul Snatcher. So even if you kill the Duskwitch, he gets another Amber. So we're gonna see what happens. This is big. Like even if he board wiped here, your opponent goes to 10. You go to 4.
Where am I supposed to? He goes to 10. He's discarding. He discarded a capture creature.
Yeah, I'm not sure why.
He discarded the thing that takes him off a key. What?
I don't know what just happened.
What? What is he doing? He discarded Obeyed, right?
I feel like that's what I saw.
Right, it's right there. The second card on the top, he discarded.
I don't know. Obeyed the Grim does look like it was discarded there.
Unless
He
I'm missing
plays
something.
Lion to make his own creatures super big.
But
Gatekeeper did nothing.
Why?
I'm very confused.
Oh, Kiramode is reminding us that he can't capture. He can't capture with the pixies on the board. So it would have taken it from the pool. So
I
it would have
missed
just,
that
it
that
would
was
have-
posed pixies.
It would have
Thank
just
you.
given. Thank you, Kiramode. We appreciate that. So it would have just
Yep,
given him Amber to take.
Yeah.
That's actually so okay. So not a misplay. Definitely the correct play.
Those pixies were huge
Man,
there.
post pixies does work. As Colby mentioned during the post match interview of his last round. So I got to tell you, for a quote unquote bad deck that Colby's running, this is doing pretty well.
Dude, I saw Kobe's deck, and out of all the decks I've seen, Nathan's and Colby decks are the only two that I was like, this has like a way better than even odds chance of winning this just because of the deck. Both of these two players pilot very well.
Wait, hold on. Colby's doing a fun thing here. Colby's mimicrying a mimicry, so he can mimicry something out of. He's asking if he can mimicry something out of his own library.
He cannot. No matter what, it says opponent.
Right, so he can't. I think he was asking if he could mimicry a mimicry, and that will cause.
The answer is no.
Right. I think he's being told that now.
Yep.
Let me go over and make sure that's what he's being told.
There is a question in the chat about a key. The key should have been forged this turn. There's no Amber key cost manipulation in field. So after, also Colby should have forged.
Why?
He was on 6.
Oh, wait, is there anything the key denies?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure. All right, so he mimicry'd something.
Okay, so once again, Colby's cast is the MVP of this round.
Yeah.
So yes, he should have forged, and I did.
You're welcome, Colby.
You're welcome, Colby. So I did confirm with Carson. You can't see him really on stream, but Carson, the marshal of the tournament, is standing over Colby's shoulder, and that.
If you're commentating, no lines of play were altered from that misrepresentation of that board state, so we were able to forge retroactively.
Thank
So,
you.
Carson,
Thank you, Carson.
the
Do you
marshal
want, if we see that screen again, you want me to come over and tell you it? Okay.
said since no lines of play were changed from when the key was not flipped, it was allowed to be redone because literally nothing had changed game state wise.
Right, because we said something immediately.
There was an event earlier this year where a key was missed. Much later in the game, one player said it was forged, or they should have been at 2. The other player could not remember that, because there was a dispute and there was
Right.
no way and too much has happened,
Right.
the key did not get reflipped.
So Colby owes us like a beer later or something. But just to reiterate what was actually happening with the judge call earlier, there was a mimicry that he was trying to mimicry, but that, as you probably said when I stepped away from the table, does not allow him to mimicry anything in his own graveyard. Doesn't mimicry back. So we had to choose some. What did he end up mimicrying?
Just something for Amber. I was more focused on what was going
Gotcha.
on with the
Okay.
rest.
So
All right, so we have a very bad board state for Nathan. Did he gain an amber for? Oh no, he didn't die, so didn't gain an amber for anything like that. So all of Colby's creatures have skirmish, plus
we
2
played
power,
the other Panamaka?
and come
Oh,
into play
God.
ready.
Oh God. Oh no.
That is a situation that I don't think I ever want to be in.
Oh no. Spirits Way has to be played.
But
here.
if
Does he have a
Spirits Way is played,
it kills the whole board.
He gets 6 amber. Soul Snatcher.
Because he is. Oh God.
Like this is
Well, wait. Okay, but the following could occur: Spirits Way plus some Sanctum card that captures.
or like Doorstep. if
Doorstep
that's a
would be
thing.
amazing. Spirits Way Doorstep is the
Unfortunately, Gatekeeper is already on the board, so obviously, unless he has another one, that is probably not a thing.
no.
So we will wait and see what happens, but this looks real bad.
Yeah. This is gross.
Uh,
He did Healing Blast,
on.
so he's on his own creature, so he's
gonna-
gonna get
he-
4, or the
3.
bonus.
Yeah, he went from
4
yeah,
heals,
yeah.
3 amber. Yeah.
He's at 7.
So he's in the right
So
house.
he's on key, not key through Lash.
Right.
He's got enough to kill his own people, I guess.
He's
He's
fighting.
got to get rid of the Dust Witch.
This means he doesn't have a Spirit's Way because there's no reason he would fight. If he could just board wipe, he would reap twice and then play Spirit's Way. So he's in big trouble now. He does have 1 key, so that's a thing. The Grey Rider.
Oh,
and
there we
fight.
go.
So he's going
Fights
to kill
again.
Dust Witch.
Yep.
What are we doing here?
Dust Witch should be dead.
Yeah, it should be dead. Okay.
I think I actually would have fought with Nox there, just because Nox is garbage. But whatever.
I mean, if he goes back to Untamed, having a 9-power creature on the board that can kill Collector
Yeah,
Worms
but we've
seems
also
pretty
seen him play
important.
Save the Pack twice. So if that ends up being your answer in the end, I would rather it be Nox than
Yeah,
Lion. Lion's great.
that's fair, but Colby is now on key 2,
Yeah, there's your key.
and Soul Snatcher is
So
is
Nathan's sitting at
his
8.
insurance policy.
If Colby goes into dis, he obviously can deny key with the Lash. I think that's probably what we see here.
Chat's pointing out that Colby might have missed a Soul Snatcher Amber trigger, and he could have maybe forged a turn earlier. It turns out not to have mattered, and this game is almost over because Colby has multiple key abductions in hand.
And Seed is not in play, but he has Invasion Portal for another card. He only has 1 Mars creature on the field, though.
The super gross thing about Soul Snatcher in this deck is that the Collector Worm doesn't trigger Soul Snatcher. So, like, he still has a Brainstem antenna Collector Worm.
He does.
It's still on board.
It never left.
It never left. Because it turned out to be, like, what, the 4th most must-kill target on the board?
Well, he hasn't called Mars since.
Well, I know, but, like, it turned...
Here's a Mars
Yeah,
turn.
I'm just saying, like,
We have Invasion
from
Portal.
Nathan's perspective, it's insane.
There's your Mind Warper.
This deck is gross. I've read the deck list. Yeah, it's gross.
So now he has how many cards in hand? He doesn't have enough to fire Key Abduction.
Correct. He can reap.
He can Mother Gun and kill some. Well, does he Mother Gun kill his own thing?
So
No.
this is one of the rare circumstances where Mother
He
Gunning...
is giving Nathan a key, though.
Yeah. So this one of the...
I am surprised on that.
This is one of the rare circumstances where if he Mother Guns and reveals the key abductions, it could be one of those rare circumstances where you're not going to play the Mars cards and you don't want to show them to your opponent.
I think he plays them for Amber here because his advantage.
It's
is
gonna
so
get
big.
rid of his brainstem if he does, but he
I
probably
still
should.
think he's gonna reap a bunch with Brainstem because there's the untap, there's the reap again. Calling it now. Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
Then
No, I agree.
Then he's gonna play another Mars creature.
This is so gross. Now he has to decide whether he's willing to give up the brainstem. He probably will because he's not likely to play Mars again in the immediate future if he plays the key abductions. But if he plays both,
No, if you play both key abductions, you go to check.
he's at 3 now.
He's
Does he
got
have
another
one?
creature, right?
No.
thought
But
he
I think
did.
he's got something with an amber stapled on it. I don't think is that a creature or something.
Oh yeah. Either way, he has 3
Either
amber
way,
in
he's got
hand,
an amber with something stapled on it. So
and he can always kill his. Yep, there he goes. He killed his guy for the soul snatcher. He's gonna go to 7
how
here.
did he? What did he kill? What was
With
the
Mother
third
Gun,
one?
he killed his own guy.
Oh yeah,
That's why he put it to the left.
yeah, yeah. Did you win? Okay, so
All right, we just reported that Ben has moved
Ben
on
has
to
moved
top
on.
8.
Top
Congrats.
8. Well done, Ben. Congrats. Nathan is getting destroyed. Yeah.
I see 1 to 2. Yes, 5. Yeah.
I would not say that Nathan is getting destroyed, but the board state is very, very bad for him, and it
Well,
is probably over.
That's what I mean.
It's still going to be a 2 to 3 game. That's
Yeah.
not destroyed.
No. I mean like
In the end,
I mean,
he did play both key abductions. He's trying to amber push.
when I say destroyed, I mean the current board state is one of destruction. But yes, no.
When I
it'll
say
be,
someone's getting destroyed, it's like 3-0. Like
Okay.
my first game
Yeah?
yesterday,
Yeah?
I didn't forge the key.
that's right. You
and
were
I
on stream.
ended
I
with
remember
no
commenting
amber.
that game. That was pretty ugly.
I still took that crap,
All right, so
crap
that's
heap
fair.
to 4-2 though.
Nathan
so.
is respectably forging his second key here before likely not having any answers. But is Spirit's weighing out here?
No. How is Spirit's weighing out? So he's going to play.
Well, Spirit's way followed by capture.
I don't know.
Wrist clocks. He can't steal. It's it.
Wow.
Colby has advanced.
Good game.
Did y'all hear John didn't show up?
I thought he did.
He checked in and then he didn't show up to this round. So the other lady got like pre-win to top 8.
Wow. So some guy did fake. Some guy with his badge lied.
Probably.
I think he should get banned for that,
No.
or like a suspension or something.
No.
Yes, he should. You can't fake. You can't screw up an entire tournament by
It could
checking in.
have been
And
him showing up. We don't know that.
I'm almost 100% sure.
We don't know anything. All we do is speculation. So we're not going to bash other people or say things should happen.
That's fine. But
We know nothing.
I will say this: if
You
you
know
would,
nothing, Jon Snow.
if you intentionally check into a round and then you leave, only.
But
for
we
the
don't know
purpose
that's
of
what
getting
happened.
in. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So we'll defer judgment on that. We'll talk about the major win that Colby just pulled off.
I think Colby's deck is very hard to deal with. It has a lot of shenanigans that if you were going into an Archon event, you would bring cards to answer those shenanigans. But this is a sealed event. Your decks don't come with answers. They come with strategies, they come with combos, they come with fun stuff. So if you can't answer a lot of like random shenanigans, which is what Colby's deck has, you have Post Pixies, you have the Dust Squid, you have both Pampakas. He does have the Key Abduction Seed. He didn't need to fire it. But when your deck has all those weird shenanigans...
And Soul Snatcher as insurance. Soul Snatcher as absolute insurance.
Soul
to anything.
Snatcher in his deck is still maybe played, maybe not. It really just depends on the opponent. Because there's a lot of like 24 creature AoE decks.
That's fair.
So if that's your opponent's deck, Soul Snatcher is probably a loss if you play it.
Yeah, that's fair.
But that was not Nathan's deck. We have... So someone's asking how many games are left. The winner of this just advanced to the top 8. So that'll be there's gonna be a top 8 round, a top 4 round, and then we'll have the finals. That is what it is. Top 16 players are awarded, I think, 50 amber for as far as vault ranking goes.
Yeah, top 16 or 50.
50, and then top 8 I believe is 100. So that is what it is. Nathan will gain 50 more amber shards from that ranking from today to stay above George. I think George will still have to win to pass him for number 1. So we'll see how
George
that
won
works.
this round.
What was the difference?
we'll
We're not going to pull it up on the screen again, but let's see the numbers. So CoryThan is at 895.
So we just got 50.
Compact is at 820. So
He just got 50.
yeah, so Nathan just got 50 and he was he was 75 ahead.
Let me go find out some rounds.
All right, here we go. The man himself.
Hi guys, I'm here.
There he is.
I did dumb stuff that game.
I don't think you did that many dumb things.
But
There
the
was some
deck was-
weird misses on both of you as far as board state, but really like that's not so much player skill as you're in a situation that's very tense.
Yeah, I was too busy thinking about mimicry to know what happens.
Yeah, you forge a key.
Yeah, I was. Oh yeah.
That's what
Whatever.
happens. You forge
need-
a key.
Who needs those?
Like, and I think y'all both totally missed it. And had that key not been forged there, I don't
Oh,
think
yeah.
it would have changed the outcome, but it would have changed some other things that were happening
But
later.
no, we didn't miss it, and the board state was maintained. And what a wacky game!
Yeah, no,
Turns
that
out,
was crazy.
Pose Pixies, when you have it on the board, the amber comes from the common supply. So if he plays Abed the Grim,
Yeah,
then
no.
I just get 3 amber, but
So
it's
we
on
had
his guy.
missed that Post Pixies was your creature because we were still talking about the Dusk Witch so much.
And that's what
And
he's
then
there
when we
for.
saw him play Grim, like discard Grim, we were both like, "Why did he discard Grim?" Cure mode piped up. He saw that the Post Pixies were on the field. We're like, "Oh snap! Like there's the key too."
So it's Topanga Anga, it's
Yeah.
Pose Pixies, it's Dusk Witch, but the
Yeah.
the center of that whole combo is Soul Snatcher.
Yeah.
Because if you kill them, I get value out of them anyway.
Yeah, had he board wiped you, if he had a board wipe,
You could see my hand,
you're
right?
auto win. Like that puts you at like 12.
That's been my opinion on Soul Snatcher from the top. I've always wanted to play Soul Snatcher with Capture. So if
Yeah.
you want your amber back, you have to put me at. I want to sit at 4 amber.
Yeah.
You can't kill me.
Yeah, no, that's totally true. Post Pixies for the win today, guys. There it is. Specifically, though, Soul Snatcher for the. You can't actually get out of this mess that you're in.
Yeah, that's why
So-
my deck has all of these things that can actually take care of your board without killing you. Triple Banish, Collector Worm. I still haven't fought a Mars deck today, right?
Yeah.
But when I do, like Key Abduction is disgusting in that matchup.
Yes.
It bounces their whole board. Bye bye.
I do have a deck with a couple of key abductions, and every time my opponent's Mars, because like the whole deck revolves around a massive Logos Archive. So I sit there and archive all game. If my opponent is Mars, I have 3 key abductions. It's just like, return that crap. There you go.
Colby, you forgot the 2 most important things.
Oh, whatever.
Signing the slip in your deck.
Colby has to sign for his
I know where my
victory.
deck is. No one's touching my deck. It's on my camera. I'm watching it. I gotta hand this in though.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Here's Nathan.
Sure.
All right. You still could
Down.
maintain number 1. Did George win? Do we know if George won?
I don't know.
I'll find out here in a minute. So
Okay.
take a seat. So as long as George doesn't get 2 higher rounds than you, you should still be ahead of him, unless he gets the second or first. So what happened? Tell us about the game.
Well, I mean, I thought that I was pretty lucky to top deck into the save the pack,
Yeah.
they're everywhere combo when I did.
Yeah, we said that was probably the biggest save the pack play we'd ever seen, because the board state was real bad for you.
Oh no, it was
and
terrible.
it immediately became real good for you.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's interesting. Like he just started outracing me with all the Collector Worm Mars shenanigans, and also it was super tough that he dropped Dusk Witch and Post Pixie at the same time. Like
Well,
I knew I had.
and the other Pampaka.
Yeah.
That didn't matter that much that turn, but later
Okay,
it
the
did.
buff, the plus power one was a big deal. I didn't feel like the skirmish one made a big difference, but it was like that's the other problem. Like I usually you hope when a person just plays a big Untamed turn and they drop like 3 or 4 Untamed cards. I can't remember. I think he had Mimicry and like 3 creatures. He drew into 2 more
Yeah.
Untamed, so then he had like both tons of Untamed, and then it doubled up on that with the huge turn. And I mean, I was saving. Like I knew I had to have my bag of coins or what direct damage I had to take out Dusk Witch or
Yeah.
Pose Pixie, but with both of them, it definitely
Yeah.
put me in a tough spot. Like the 2 Untamed turns in a row.
Yeah, his Untamed set is actually very, very devastating in a sealed environment. And I think the most threatening thing in his deck, he didn't even need to fire, which is the key abductions.
Yeah.
I mean, that was there as a backup. I don't think I've ever seen in competitive play at this level Soul Snatcher do as much of a thing that it did.
Well, I think Soul Snatcher should have been really good for me if I hadn't I didn't have much of a way to remove Collector Worm. I tried to. I mean, that's why I chose Sanctum. Well, no, I wanted to choose Sanctum to build up a board to be able to remove the Collector Worm because I knew it would be such a nasty problem for me. But I also knew that I'd played a ton of Untamed and Shadows. So I had a hand of 3 Shadows and 3 Sanctum, and so it's I have to play the Shadows because I'm gonna draw into Sanctum most likely. I still didn't draw into enough Sanctum after that, but
The one thing that I saw would have mattered at all. There's one Untamed turn where you ended up discarding Bumble.
Oh no, I screwed up.
Okay,
I just didn't play it first.
I know we both hate the card, but it's that much?
No, I'd already played some card.
Yeah. I was wondering if that was
screwed up my alpha.
And that happens. I've done it. I'm sure anyone
That
that's
was the first
played in
time
AOA has
I
done
have
that.
3 alphas in that deck. That's the first time I've screwed up at this tournament. But it also, you know,
I
was
don't
sort
think
of
that
too
would
little
have
too
mattered
late.
at all in the long run, but
Too
I
little
was
too
just
late.
yeah.
Well, it almost could have made a little bit of a difference at some point because, like, if I'd had one, like, I mean, so he got to too much amber for me to be able to Ronnie it away.
Yeah.
But if he hadn't gotten quite as high for some reason, and I had one more amber, I would have been able to get enough with that Shadow's turn to check at 6, and his deck doesn't have huge amber control.
No, it doesn't. It's just
So,
it's very,
I was
very
just trying to
fast
check
on
really
the
quick.
amber side itself, and it creates really hard to deal with board states.
yeah.
And as soon as he hits Soul Snatcher, that's just compounding his amber gain. So.
Yeah, my hardest to deal with board states, just like, maybe I have like some Albades and like Lion and Grey Rider and stuff.
Yeah.
But there's
Like a lot of the stuff that would have been good for your board state against his board state came out late for you, so that really hurt.
yeah.
And that's part of this game. Sometimes the draw.
I mean,
there.
the
It's-
Panpaca,
yeah.
if I'd drawn into Spirit's Way at the right time, like, just bye.
Yeah, had you had
Fine.
Spirit's Way, the turn that he played that, Soul Snatcher wasn't out yet.
Yeah.
And that's a different ending.
But-
It's a very
But
different
yeah,
ending.
no, it's also sort of interesting contemplating like which of those decks wins more often. Like I thought before we played, from looking at his deck and watching him play his deck and having played my deck, I thought my deck was better. And you know, the one result doesn't indicate that much. Like
That's
there's
true.
a high degree of chance,
That's
but it
true.
also makes me wonder, like, okay, is my deck actually better in general? I'm not sure.
I know if I were choosing a deck to pilot between the two for a tournament, I would pick yours.
Yeah, I would pick mine too. I'm just not sure if in that matchup mine's better.
Well, and a lot of people that I did beat with my deck, which was very bad, it was matchup stuff. Like I played against someone that had 7 Plague Rats, but I had Flamethrower.
Yeah.
Perfect answer.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter. All your rats are dead every time.
I wish I had a Plague Rats deck. Like,
Yeah, that would have been a perfect
yeah.
matchup against him. So like it's very interesting how certain decks match up well against certain decks. I will be interested to see if Colby's deck can take it all the way. Piloting wise, he's a great pilot, so I think he will give anyone a good match because he's got a good deck.
yeah, I mean, if he weren't a good player, he would have killed one of my creatures with his Blaster Mars gun thing.
Oh, Mother Gun.
Yeah, Mother Gun.
That was
but he killed
that
his
was
own
a
creature.
total
Right
legit,
call.
legit play. Like I was like at first, like when I saw him play it to the other side of the power buffer, because he played it to the left of Anga, which
Yeah.
didn't give him power. I was like, oh, he's totally killing this, and that's exactly what he did. And that is
It's a good play.
that's a I've played this game 500 times play. It's like that's where that comes from. All right, well.
All right,
We're gonna
well,
set
I'm
up for next match.
Go check out the results and stuff.
All right,
Talk
thank
to
you.
everyone.
Go find out if George won.
That's my plan.
All right.
So Eli lost.
Okay, so we are setting up for next match. I'm looking for Eric to take over for a minute so I can use the restroom, but I don't see the man. So maybe somebody can find him for me.
Restroom break quick.
Let's see. I'll be right back. There we go.
Eric's down there.
That is the first round. So if he goes one round higher, Nate is fine. Nate is to be first. If he makes it to this was top 8 or 6 hour. So if he goes to top
The guy John that won day one didn't show up and checked in. Didn't show up this round. He just left. So Cindy, who was actually the lowest seed, got a 3 minutes to top 8. And I played her next. Special limit. Is that a poster? Flex card. Wait, there's almost stuff there. Okay. Comes with a pin. Okay.
Hey, do you have your stuff somewhere? Can I leave this with it?
Right. Pretty. The other side is it's like the other side.
Shadowrun is.
Game. Board game.
Yes.
All day board game.
Gigs.
All right, I'm back. They are still closing out the round, setting up for the next one. Let's check out the chat real quick. We've got some different conversations going on. This is a good time to ask questions if y'all would like to know anything specific about what's going on. Obviously, Colby's going on to the next round. Ben is the last remaining member of Team SAS to represent Team SAS of the luxurious playstyle. So we'll see how far he goes. He is now in top 8. This is, I think, the highest Ben's made it so far. He made top 16 in Denver. Top 32 in Denver. But a lot of us will be at Gen Con. I don't think Ben will make it to Gen Con. Team SAS will have quite a few people in Gen Con. I'm sure Team Reapout will too. Did George win his? I'm still trying to figure that out. Did George win?
Yeah, it's gonna be George and someone else and Philip on stream.
Okay, George is coming back to stream against someone named Philip. So we're gonna get that set up shortly. Let's see. This is not going to be Nathan. Let's see. Do we have any information what house the rest of the top 8 is playing? So George did win his. I just heard that. As far as what they're playing, I have not done a house analysis myself, but I will be able to get some people to go around and see. Our audience wants to know houses for all the top 8. Is
Okay.
that something you think you could collect?
That's something I can collect. I will collect that, but I want to give a.
Make sure to update the player names.
That's what
Yes,
I'm about
but
to do.
But this is that you're doing.
As
the thing
soon
I
as
told
they
you,
sit
right?
down, I'll do that.
I'm just playing a game.
No, I mean I'm telling you, like you're getting. Yeah.
All right, we have weird
So-
conversations going around me that I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to go ahead and delete some player names.
And I'm going to explain what's going on while Z is deleting some player names. So, Nathan, as we saw on stream, lost last round. Nathan is currently ranked number 1 on the Vault Tour standings. George, aka Compacta, is also with this tournament. George won a very, very close round. I went to go watch the end of his round.
They were the last ones to finish.
They were the last ones to finish, and George's opponent was unchecked several times. George TMTP'd.
That is too much to protect.
Yes, too much to protect, and then put himself in check, and his opponent did not, and then got like 3 more ambers, so his opponent could not answer back. So George is in the round of 8. The relevance of that is that if George wins this coming round in the round of 8, George will have enough points to overtake Nathan and be number 1 in the world. So that is the
true.
match we're trying to get on stream. George, and I believe Philip is his opponent. Other people in the top 8 include, of course, Colby. You saw him win. Our Team SAS member, Ben, is also in the top 8. I do not know the name of his opponent.
Why not try to get Ben on stream?
I would love to have Ben on stream. But
never been on stream.
I think for the people out there,
We already cast George first round.
we cast George first round.
Yeah, he was George versus Lucas.
Oh, when I was playing,
Yeah.
you cast George versus Lucas. That's fair, but I feel like this is a momentous occasion for the rest of the world.
Did you already talk to them about this?
Did I talk to who?
About the who's going to be casting?
Yeah.
Okay. Then the die has been cast.
Well, listen, you gotta have enough faith in our team member that he's gonna be around.
I remember you saying this about me one time, and then it didn't work out, and I didn't get cast that day. But anyway,
That's fair. And listen, you know, I don't have a problem in principle with limiting chat saying we should limit one person, but I think this particular match being for the #1 place in the world is relevant enough to have this on stream. And when
we're talking about a card, not a person.
oh, I'm sorry, my bad. But like, I think this is
so
this
this
is a bigger
person that
question.
is on the right is not George, so I can go ahead and start
That's
writing their
Philip.
name.
I don't know their deck. I'll get their deck.
Oops. So properties, this is gonna be Philip. We'll have a deck name shortly. I believe Eric is on his way back with the deck list. But Eric gets distracted a lot, and now he's talking to somebody. So I'm going to go ahead and put in George's name while...
Okay, so Philip is this.
Hey, hold on. I'm putting George's name
George, I give
in.
you George.
George has Mastanail is back. The master of nails. Mastanail.
The first.
The first.
That's a great name.
Probably the coolest name I've seen in the tournament
The
so
first,
far.
not the second first.
Yep. And now we have Philip is playing Sister
C.
C.
No period. Oh, yes, period.
Valenmouth. Valenmouth? Okay, there we are. That is our setup. Those are our names. Those are our people. It looks like they are determining who is going first. Let's get Philip's name a little bigger here. There we go. Let's do the same for good old George here. All right, Compacta, let's see what you got. Can you become #1 in the world?
See, you got a little drama in there, man. We'll hook our boy up in semis.
I do believe Ben has a chance. Anyone that's here has a chance.
That's right. Anyway. Yes, George definitely got a better pull than in the UK. I mean, I didn't see his
Philip
deck.
sets up his
I'm
Archon
sure
like
he
I
did.
do. Go, Philip. Thanks for putting your
Puts
Archon
it-
above your draw pile.
Oh, I put my Archon on the opposite side of my
I know.
draw pile, but it's always at the front.
I know. I think that's why you lose. I'm kidding.
It has nothing to do with my inferior play whatsoever, or lack of good deck
It is
pulls.
not inferior play. And your
Lack
deck
of
was
deck
way
pulls.
better than mine.
My deck was better than yours, sure, but you didn't even make day 2. I mean, you know.
No.
Yeah, it's that's fine. I've been moaning about that Z for a while about how he has amazing deck pulls, and now I'm no longer able to do that. So
Well, the world has watched that out. I pulled
All right.
3 decks that
And wow.
all had 70 sats.
Enough about
here
our
we go.
nonsense. We are in the game.
starting with Bren the Fanatic,
And
which
then
is
we-
not a great first turn play because of that.
right, that is in fact.
Wasn't that Bren?
Yeah, that was Brent.
Why does his opponent not have an Amber? I don't.
Why does his opponent not have it? I think he
It-
stole it when he died. I think that had already happened.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, I think his opponent got the Amber and then he killed Bren and Bren stole the Amber.
That is still like I had Bren the Fanatic in my 4-2 deck. I mulliganed most of the time that I saw him because I want Bren in play, but not first round.
Right.
Because all of the great things he does doesn't.
Did you catch and see what George did? Maybe he mulled into that hand and didn't have a lot of other options.
No, we were
Okay.
We
We
were
were
being
talking
bad.
about
We were
nonsense.
being bad.
We were talking about nonsense.
bad casting.
All right.
All right,
so,
here we go. Back
yes.
to,
So George.
So
has
we
a
have an
strong
immediate,
brother.
strong Brobnar presence that things could get out of hand quite quickly. We have Kolf the Quiet. We have Gengar Chieftain.
And I think
and
that's a Groke. Groke. That's a Groke.
Groke is easily one of the best Brobnar cards that is in play right now.
Especially with the other combos he can.
Especially, I
cards he
mean,
can
with
combo
all the stuff. You have Relentless Assault. You have Into the Fray. Gengar Chieftain.
Oh,
Oh,
and
there it is.
they're all dead.
And the Rider lives. That is
That's a
about
solid-
as
that's a
insulting as you
That's a
can
solid
get.
Spirit's Way. That is a solid
And
Spirit's
Rider
Way.
is going to double reap here. 'Cause the
not
rider-
not
yep,
only
reap,
reap,
reap.
he's going to like get the
Reap
captured
and
amber.
destroy.
Reap and destroy the amber. That's
Like, that's called drawing into the
advantage,
perfect cards.
Advantage bar strongly over into the Phillips section.
Yeah, because I believe we just saw, like, probably the nuts of George's Bromnar deck, right? Like, unless you have recursion. Like, when I watched George's first game today,
The chief
that
is for
Grok stayed out there almost the entire game and really rocked it out.
Yeah, it's at the bottom. No, that's not it. You just turn down the. That's fine.
All right.
Okay, so
Yeah. So we're good.
we're good, and we're gonna see what George's response to
So
that.
it's 2 amber to
swinging
2
turn
amber,
was.
but I think the advantage
But you just played a couple cards for amber. It looks like.
Yep.
And
The
now
Shrine
Phillips
Disciple
gonna put
did
out a
it. Ooh,
seed,
there's
a
another
Grovekeeper,
seed.
and a Duskwitch.
Bam, there it is. We saw
Oh!
very similar last game with Colby's deck. So if
Oh,
Colby
boy.
ends up facing Phillip, we're gonna see like some mirror type stuff going on.
Yeah, that's gonna be a
Because a
heck of
2-power Duskwitch is not that big of a deal, but if it gets higher than 2,
Spike the
okay, there we
Grovekeeper
go.
out.
That makes sense.
He's gonna play a Dominator. He's going to play. Okay.
So now we have another.
But
so,
importantly, no answer to the Duskwitch currently.
so let's see what kind of crazy shenanigans
Yes.
happens here, because we have a 2-power Duskwitch sitting on elusive. Answers to it are on the board.
Yes, but I mean, like, I should say it was not killed that turn.
But like, surely he doesn't want to go back to Mars, because I think he only has one Mars card in hand. But he's gonna have to,
Right.
if he can still have an answer.
Well, he has. We see destroy them all in his hand. That's the answer because he kills seed if Philip doesn't use seed right now. He doesn't know that he has that, obviously. So a little bit of drama forming.
I doubt he uses seed here. So
I
destroy them
agree.
all is probably going to be a live card for him.
Right.
Bullet Eye is actually going to
Oh.
be. Oh, is that 2 Bullet Eyes?
Oh,
No, that's not 2 Bullet Eyes. That's Bullet Eye and what is that?
That's Gamgee, I think.
Oh, that's Gamgee.
And I don't know what the one at the far end is.
It's a little bit off screen, which we haven't had happen yet. So yep, there's gonna kill the armor
See what
guy,
that card is.
and whatever this other card is, he's reaping with it. It doesn't look like it's getting another effect.
It's Redlock. He's got
Oh, so
Redlock
that's
on the end there.
Redlock. So there's no other effect there. He's playing a card for Amber, which is Whistling Darts.
No, that's
No, it's
Hideaway Hole.
Hideaway Hole. So that
It's
will
gonna
help him
give some more elusive
later?
potentially. Yeah, you can sack it to get elusive. I
No,
think
no.
most of these things have elusive, don't they?
Bullet Eye does. Gamgee does.
Duskwitch does.
Redlock does not.
So Redlock and the Grey Rider are the only ones that don't
Right
have
now.
elusive. Yeah,
So does he call Mars just to kill the witch?
I think you have to. I don't like it, but yeah,
Yep.
he does.
Oh, because it's just the witch and seed.
100%.
I still think this is huge advantage because
It
this
is.
does not take you off key.
No,
This is big advantage, Philip.
He's got 2 other Mars cards in hand. Chat's having a debate over the nerfs.
All right, yep. You can debate away. It is what it is.
This is the conclusion I've come to.
Yes,
Well, if we-
that is how I console my friend Eric here.
Yeah, if we have a moment later, I'll tell you what my conversation with Brad was like yesterday, and he made the best argument I've heard for the nerfs. But we'll do that sometime when this game is lagging, and it certainly is
All
not
right,
right
so he
now as
does
George
kill
kills
Redlock.
Redlock with the
He does that
Sky
probably
Booster
because he
Squadron.
wants to wait till he's hurt, so when he reaps the next time, he'll heal himself.
Yes, it's a good use
It's a very
of that.
good play. Redlock is a pretty good card.
And he doesn't
in
know
sealed
he
because
could-
that extra amber anytime.
Right, and he could easily have Shadows is one of those houses that has a lot of
Although
turns that are
I
just
go
actions.
back to Shadows here, like I'm not really seeing his hand. He's got Shadows cards in hand, but Bullet Eye kills Dominator here.
It does. It really does.
You totally go back to Shadows.
I think
I
so.
saw at least 2 Shadows cards in hand. Unless
Well, he couldn't kill Bullet Eye with one because he was elusive, right?
yeah.
Right, so he didn't have a choice there.
No. I'm saying
You
that
just-
wasn't an option. I'm just saying
You're
as
saying go back,
Philip,
you
go back to Shadows.
Totally agree.
You have board advantage. That's
Totally
not
agree,
changing,
that's what he does.
especially if you Bullet Eye here.
And he's going to steal because he just forged. He's going to steal with
Gamgee, who was lower.
Bullet Eye
then you
kills
kill
Dominator.
Dominator. Oh man, this is getting out of hand.
And then
You don't need to pop that, but you have creatures.
Lambda.
Now-
Lambda does not come into play ready.
Does not. So he's just
Okay, that's fine.
But now everything on his board has elusive.
Yeah, so Hideaway Hole, largely useless.
So that was quick. He
He's
immediately played
Tremor.
Tremor, so triple stun,
Screech
Bomb,
Gauntlet,
Tremor
Drummer
Knot.
Okay, so
But
he's-
his big heavy Brobnar are gone. I watched that first game. The Drummer Knot fed off the other 3 people that got wiped out on Spirit's Way on turn 2.
Yeah.
So that Drummer Knot's effect, I doubt is going to be heavy here because his... I mean, I know he has more Brobnars in deck. I've seen him play.
This is looking like a Sanctum turn in all likelihood based on his hand. He's got 4 Sanctum cards in hand. 4 Sanctum cards in hand and a couple other things.
Yeah, his opponent's not on key. This is the point in the game where you're
Board
cycling your
development.
deck.
Yeah, and you want to develop the board.
Yeah, you're looking for future answers. Drummer Knot is not a threat here.
Not for at least one more turn of Brobnar.
No, like even if he comes in with a Ganger Chieftain this turn,
He would have to swing in like 4 times to this board to kill him,
if
right?
he had Ganger Chieftain, no, because they're elusive.
That's what I'm saying. You have to either swing in 4 times.
But he would be able to kill many of them.
Right. Just to kill 2 people, he'd have to swing in 4 times. So, I mean, that's not happening. He does have a gauntlet, but yeah, I think you just play Sanctum and you just play board. Like, that's absolutely
All right, we've
what
got
he's doing.
Merrick the Mark. We've got the Baron, which is amazing Amber Control in sealed because any card can become Capture 1. And then he has... Is that Sir Maros?
That is a Sir Maros.
So he now has Reap Hate and a huge board. So unless George has board wipe, this is super bad for him.
So he's Grey Ridering into the Squadron, and then he's going to smite into the Drummer Knot, I think. That's interesting.
Well, because he still lives.
Yeah, no, he's going to put 5 damage. He's probably ahead enough that he doesn't care about putting 5 damage on the creature that
That
can
is
capture.
a actual Fantasy Flight 5 damage metal token.
It is.
First I've seen today. Wow, complete board wipe. Sanctum, Grey Rider in play. So that's 5 Amber a turn on Reap if something doesn't change right now.
Yeah.
And if he somehow has another Grey Rider in deck, this could get GG very, very quick.
Yeah. This is just a bad
All right,
matchup
so we
so
have
far.
Mother Gun coming out, so we're just going to show us some Mars cards. He is going to deal what?
When Philip having the answers makes it.
So he doesn't capture anymore there. He's going to steal Bullet Eye.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean,
I might have taken Maros there. I want to take
because
I want to take non-stunned creatures off the field for my opponent to minimize the effectiveness of a Sanctum turn.
Bull and I is only going to be effective the second Shadows.
Heck,
turn
I
that
might
he
even have
calls.
taken Grey Rider, unless you can kill him this turn.
I would probably take.
There's
but
the reason.
Yeah, I would take Maros and do that.
If I have Containment Field, I definitely take Maros.
Yeah. 'Cause Maros is the one card in Sanctum that he has that can actually do stuff.
Yeah, and you have some time to answer Bullet Eye because he's stunned. Stunned is a really good thing against Reap-heavy creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you have Shadows yourself, and he probably knows he's going to be calling Shadows soon, so that's why he did it. Still, I take Maros because this still looks like Sanctum to me if I'm Philip. That's still 8 Amber even though Grey Rider dies. I mean 4. 4 minimum. Without counting whatever is actually in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see what happens, because your opponent...
So, George finds himself in a position where he's down on board, 1 Amber, no keys, and he's already burned through most of his board-heavy control stuff in Brobnar. He's going to need to find... I mean, a board wipe would be really good.
This is huge advantage for him.
Yes.
Even if the board wipe does come, this is still huge advantage.
He's still
for
up a
him.
key and an Amber. Yeah, I mean,
it's a key and 2 Amber to 1 Amber.
Right.
It's like... Let's see what... you talk, I'm going to see what we got. The chat agrees that they would have taken Maros.
Yes.
That's what we got in chat. Guys in chat, continue to ask stuff if you got it. So there's no... Is that... Yeah, I definitely still read with him, no matter what. That's all you're ever going to get from him. That's not going to do anything, because he has to fight. So that's just burning through the elusive, so no extra Amber there. But I do that. I definitely go ahead and reap with him.
Yeah, because what else are you going to use it for?
Yeah,
right,
I mean, it is what it is. It's just done. The only thing he could have actually done is he could have fought with Grey Rider and killed Bullet Eye.
True, but again, Bullet Eye is stunned. So
Exactly. That's why you don't do that.
yeah, what is he playing there?
Mighty Lance.
Mighty Lance.
Yeah, Bullet Eye's dead anyway.
Yeah, well, there's another reason. Is he?
Oh, or is he? I don't know.
Is Mighty Lance a non-flank creature?
No?
Is he lancing his own dude? What is he doing?
I don't know why he would be. That's... Is that Mighty Lance? Let's see. I'm trying to read it. Maybe it's not?
How about I just...
Yeah,
Answer
walk
this question.
over there. Like, it's... I don't know what all this moving my creatures up on the board is right now. Is Philip saying I'm taking your side of the board because I want my creatures to be there?
Martyr's End.
Martyr's End. Okay, not Mighty Lance. He just killed all of his creatures other than Maro's.
Remind us what Martyr's End does.
So
For those
Martyr's
of us like
End,
who might be
this
sitting
is
next
not-
to you and don't know.
You do not gain an amber. Sacrifice any number of creatures.
Yeah.
Gain 1 amber for every sacrificed creature.
So he sacked his board,
He
anticipating
sacked
a
his
Coward's End,
board,
perhaps?
thinking that maybe his opponent does have an answer to his board.
That's very interesting.
This is hardcore amber push against a player that has shadows.
Wait a second. I just thought of a better... Well, it's still not the reason. I still don't think I would take Bullet Eye, but he has shadows, so he can actually use Bullet Eye.
I said that.
Yeah,
but
okay,
still,
that's fair, but,
Still
like-
not good enough.
No, I agree.
So
I
here's
agree.
your second key. The
Yeah.
amber push did work out for you.
He
You're
didn't-
3 amber.
he didn't-
Your permanent is in check. So hopefully you have an answer because you gave one of those ambers to your opponent by sacking a creature because he had captured one.
Yeah.
And that creature could have kept capturing.
Yeah.
I agree with playing Martyr's End and sacking all of my stunned Shadows creatures.
Right.
I
The-
don't
the
think
Sanctum,
I
I'm
would
not
have
sure.
sacrificed.
Especially since it's not
I
necessary
would
to put
not
you in
have
check.
sacrificed the Baron.
Yeah.
You were going to be in check anyway.
Yeah.
And honestly, who's at a huge risk for too much to protect?
Yes.
Doesn't
Which-
know if his opponent has it or not. That's fine. I mean,
Right,
like
yeah.
if you scouted and know he does, like that's even worse.
Right. That's yeah. No, I agree. I agree. I mean, I think part of what he may be thinking is he's so far ahead.
I see some
that,
in the
like-
chat talking about this. He would have been 2 keys ahead, even if he'd sacrificed just the shadows.
Right.
Yeah.
That is the critical point. So like, unless now, to be fair, George did only have 1 steal in shadows that last turn, so he didn't know that. He could have had more, but still, it's probably not worth it to sack.
Yeah,
play,
because like
usable
Bullet
untamed
Eye is
creatures.
now unstunned. Board advantage is now owned by George.
Right.
You only have 1 creature in play. Bullet Eye has elusive.
It will be tough to come back from this. However, if he comes back, that turn is the thing that enables
All
the
right, we
comeback.
just did have an interesting scenario where Philip went through George's discard pile. I don't know if I'm seeing Mimicry or not in hand. The hand is not in a position where I can really see that.
Although
But a Mimicry could easily take opponent off of a key.
he may have also just been trying to calculate what house he's likely to call next. Yeah, Kiramo's talking in chat about how he basically opened a door for a long shot comeback
and I say
by,
this a
by
lot.
wiping
Like,
the board.
this game is won or lost by like dozens, if not 100, micro decisions a game.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of decisions to get right all the time, and we're all gonna have mistakes.
For sure.
I feel like this one was a more apparent one, but we are talking about Vault Tour Day 2. All of these players to get here
There's a lot of fatigue.
got 99% of those micro decisions right.
Yeah, and there's also a lot of even on day 2. There's a lot of fatigue. Believe me, like my rounds 5 and 6 yesterday or Friday when I was playing to get into day 2. There's such an emotional dump when you achieve something that it is. There's stress is a real thing, and so I mean you never know with this thing, and
Yeah.
and
But in the
we just
end,
moved- yeah,
George just got his first key, and
did.
it was an entire gift.
it was.
Because he would not have been on key, and the Baron gives you an answer to constantly take your opponent off key.
I think he just Coward's Ended there. He
I
played
saw
something and then
Coward's.
everything.
Yep, he does have Coward's End.
Okay.
There's his Chain Tracker. It's in play.
Yep.
He's placing it on the 3 with an Amber, I guess.
It was a Coward's End.
So he also placed the Amber on his deck as a reminder. Coward's End is one of the most commonly, chains are probably the most commonly forgotten thing in this game.
So he just played Grumpbucky. That is going to be his source to try to keep
That
Phillip.
is something that helped him a lot the first game that we cast.
And I just watched the end of his second game. That for sure helped him with that.
But you were playing it into, let's see, Untamed, probably not 5s there. Sanctum, we've already seen a few.
We saw the 5s and he sacked them all.
Shadows,
right?
doesn't, other than Yahtzee Gang, you're not getting a 5 out of Shadows. There's no more like Shadow self-dominance in this. That's gone. So that could be a window. So he just created himself an additional window on top of the window he was already given.
Yes.
So he has
George,
a chance
this is a good illustration of why George is an excellent player. Not saying anything bad about Phillip, obviously, but
Other
George
than
is,
that one play, I feel Phillip has played very well.
But George is maximizing the chances he's given, and we'll see if he can climb back into this match. He's still got a way to go.
And now Phillip is really thinking for the first time. This is the first turn I've seen Phillip really pause to take a decision point moment. Like we all have those where we have to take a little bit longer than normal. And that's this time because he's got Glimmer in hand. And he needs to think about how he wants to finish this game out because Glimmer can set him up to do that. Although, where's his discard pile? Did he just shuffle?
I think he just shuffled.
Okay.
Although it might be, I think it's directly under the monitor we have. Not the monitor, it's directly under this picture.
Okay.
He played Seed again.
So Seed's coming out. Probably don't have another answer for that.
Yeah, that's where his discard pile is. You can see it right there on this one.
Okay, so yeah, his discard pile is huge. He did Glimmer. I didn't see what he got. But
I think it was Seed, because he already played Seed. It got destroyed. I think he glimmered for Seed.
Oh, you don't think it? Oh, he could have had 2, but yeah, he probably did
I think he
Glimmer
glimmered
for
for
Seed.
Seed.
Seed is very good. That's the Swindle.
Okay.
So that's going to put him up to 4 and then past turn.
But that's an interesting play.
Because he has a chain that's not as bad as normal.
This is true.
But that does leave Forge windows.
He didn't have a great other set of options in his hand.
No.
But still, yeah.
So let's see what the Seed does. Does this actually do something that is relatively important to winning a game? He's got a Shadows hand.
Scrolling back, what do you recall him having that he action cards he played or creatures that he played that he want to Seed here?
I mean, the most thing
right
that
now,
he's
so
done on the
watch
game
as
is
got
creature base. His deck is creature base, so it's not going to be anything quick. He got to where he's at because he played a bunch of creatures and was able to reap with them.
Yeah.
If he had Sanctum in hand, Grey Rider would be a great call, but he doesn't because the board's clear. That's just reap.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have any Sanctum in hand. I think I see
He's
one.
got a Lights Out, which is useless currently. He's got...
That's still Amber. If I can get to 6 Amber right now, I do it.
Yes.
And if Seed can help me do that, I do that.
Right. I agree, but I don't know that he has a way to do that currently based on
I'm
board
looking for Amber
state.
pips on the Shadows. I don't see... I see 2. That can get him to 4. But you've got to make your opponent play those 5-power creatures to at least it be a thing. Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of good options. No matter what, I think I call Shadows. You've got to cycle this hand. This hand that he has right now is not helping him in any ways. I call Shadow. I play them all.
Yeah, I think that's probably
There we
true.
go. That's the Amber. I think he's still at 3 Amber because 2 of them are the weird ones.
Is he...
He has another Shadows card in hand. Why didn't whatever
is
that
it?
card is? He needed to play them.
What is...
He had 2 more. He's hiding the hand. We're back over to George. George is going to... I am not entirely sure what the stall is.
He held... So he's got a TMT plea in hand, but I think he held a Wrist Locks? I'm not sure. He has a Wrist Locks in hand. I was having a hard time seeing.
So Eric is thinking that those other 2 cards that he held were Ronnie Wrist Locks
Well, he for sure has a TMT.
and Too Much to Protect.
But I mean, he couldn't have played on the Shadows turn.
So now he's on 6. He's checking to George at 6.
Well, yeah, he could. I guess he could have played. Yeah, he probably should have done that. I think he was holding the TMTP. I think that's what it was.
Okay. I don't know if I agree. Yeah, someone on chat saying that both players are playing very conservatively, and to note on that, that is exactly how I lost one of my games. My last game I played in Atlanta, I had a huge advantage, just like Philip, and there was a point in the game where I literally had seed and played just like Philip, that if I had seeded to get one more amber, I would have won the game because my opponent would not have been able to move me off, but I didn't do that. So I think that's kind of what we're seeing. If somehow George does come back, that's why. Like, you should have amber pushed hard there. You would have been in a bit better check position. And we are just getting news that Ben is making it to top 4. So we will have a top 4 Team SAS member. Let's get back to the game. Philip is... They're just playing. They're fighting it out. George is in check for his second key.
Just some field updates.
I told.
Yeah. So, but he's playing the winner of this game.
Yeah. So Ben is gonna go watch George versus Philip for scouting purposes, and see what's what in the world of his competitors.
So, which means we could have a Airbnb final.
We could.
Anyway, I'm getting ahead of ourselves. He plays wrist lock. Philip plays wrist locks
So
here.
steal the 2.
Putting himself up to check again. He's going to play red lock, and he
Mac the
drew into a
Knife.
Mac.
Great card.
Mac is pretty
He
solid.
still holds TMP. I say absolutely not. Like, I play it.
I think it's a slightly different situation if George were already at 2 keys. You might hold it as a Hail Mary in this situation. If George was
I
already
still play it. You got to get it out of your hand. I play it. I would have played it earlier. I would have played it here.
I would have done both those things.
Because now you're getting a super muddy hand, right? 'Cause Shadows is your only card in hand, like that one card.
Yes.
Like you chained himself 3 turns.
I would have played it earlier. It's close. It's a closer decision for me here, although I'd probably play it. But now you have to hold it. Now you can't not play it. Now you can't play it until you need it, because now you have Shadows cards on board to use it with. So now you've committed to the line. He's all in on the line, and so we'll see what he does. I mean, like, what'll be really
this might be game here. I don't know if George has an answer.
Yeah. So this conversation may be an academic one.
7 amber. He needs to pull off 2 or play 2 5-power creatures.
Well, or I don't know if he's got the Mars creature that bumps the key cost for neighbors, the Resonator.
I don't think I've seen
he
that.
does, but that would be an out.
I think this is a handshake. We're gonna see. Ha! Super gamble.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
no! That's the game! Oh no!
Dusk Witch Omega
That's it! It's
lost
over!
the game on a top deck. He had no answers in hand anyway, so it was a total Hail Mary.
Still, what a way to lose. I guess if you want to go out, you're gonna go out in
but
style.
that is very
Wow.
dangerous.
Wow.
So did he Merkins into the...
He Merkins into the Witch, ending the game.
Oh. And his opponent's
Wow.
at 6 amber. He didn't have
I
any
mean,
answer
now
for
he
the
might
amber.
not have. It doesn't look like he had an answer anyway. So that was his only out. But man,
All right, well,
if you want to,
I'm gonna go get George and see if
Yeah.
he would like to comment on still being second.
man, you want to rub it in, don't you? No, comment on. That was a great game.
I mean,
I'm
go
joking.
about over the
Yeah.
game.
I'll talk for a
and I'll
minute
let you
here.
talk to him.
Yeah. So okay. So we're gonna try to get George and/or Philip coming here. Now, to be fair to everyone, to be fair to George, to be fair to everyone else, that was George's literal only possible out in that situation. So it's not as if he had a choice. But man, what a way to lose a game in a Vault Tour. To Merkins into Dusk Witch and end the game. So we are now reaching the end of the round of 8. I can tell you that I think, as we've reported before, Ben, Team SAS member Ben, will be in the semifinals. He will be playing Philip in the semifinals. My instinct is that is the match we will have on stream here. We will also... Colby is still playing on an outer table. We're waiting to see if he is winning. Do we know? I'm going to see if we know. Does anyone know who the 4th semifinalist is that's not the Colby match, or Ben, or Philip?
find out.
Please do. Thank you. That'd be great. I'm trying to find out who the fourth. Here, sit.
No, I don't.
All right, that's fair. So we're gonna. Did you get any of them?
George, but I didn't have to this so it's not good.
All right. Yeah.
Here, we're gonna give out decks, have a little player meeting, you'll be able to get the items up.
So we're waiting to hear from. I'm having our intrepid investigative team go out and try to find out who the fourth semifinalist in Vault Tour Origins will be. Yeah, I hear you, Kira Mode. We'll see. We'll see what happens. CoDameron is currently in a heated match. Too far away for me to see. So we'll see what the plan is. We may try to get Ben on because he hasn't been on stream, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. We don't know. I'll talk to Colby, obviously. So we'll see what it is. Colby's opponent. What's up?
AJ Glance.
AJ?
AJ. Yes.
Okay, so the fourth.
Aaron, I don't know what it is by the way.
Okay, I'm being told that the fourth semifinalist is AJ. We'll hold off on last names in case they don't want their last name to be revealed on stream. So AJ will be our fourth semifinalist. AJ will be playing the winner of Colby's match. Do you know who Colby's opponent is currently?
I can go check.
All right, thanks. So Colby is currently playing in the round of 8.
Colby is currently playing Brad.
Colby is playing Brad in the round of 8. That match is the last round of 8 match that's currently going on, so we're waiting for that result. And AJ will be playing the winner of that match for the semifinals. Do we know if the... Steve, excuse me for 1 second. Is the finals adaptive or 2 of 3? Okay, so I have just confirmed that the finals of this tournament, like all other US Vault Tours so far, and I'm a big fan of this decision, the finals of this tournament will be adaptive. So that's a best 2 out of 3 matchup where opponents switch their decks after round 2, and if the score is tied because the same deck has won, they will then bid chains on the deck to determine who plays it in the deciding third game of the final. We'll talk a lot more about that when we get to that format. But just to preview, that's what we're looking at, is an adaptive matchup. So that is kind of an interesting factor in these Vault Tour finals because that means that the quality of your deck only really matters until you get to the finals, right? So this match coming up, the semifinal match, is the last match that you can conceivably win purely on deck quality. Obviously, there's some variance in draws whenever you're playing a deck to begin with, but this semifinals is the last match that will be the last match where you will have to only play your deck, and where you will just where it's possible to just get outclassed by a better deck or a worse matchup. Could you do me a huge favor, capable? If someone in stream is asking, I think this is a good idea, to find out what the house compositions were of the top, say, like 8.
Okay.
If you can, and if you could get the deck names, that would be amazing.
All right.
I will compensate you in some way for that.
Okay.
Yes.
The top 8.
Okay. So I'm trying to have my our intrepid reporter staff, who I will probably introduce on stream later, go out and get the names of the decks that were all in top 8 and the house composition of the top 8 decks, so that we can put that information out there for you, and I'll probably post it to Reddit later as well. But that way you'll know the exact deck list in top 8 and the house compositions. To respond to a comment that was made in chat, I did see that in a main event that after a main event in Europe, where they did you? Oh, okay.
Why are you streaming a nothing page?
I don't know, man. We're streaming nothing page. All right, the man is back. We'll talk about the team event later because I think that's a great idea. But we, meanwhile, have the man, Mr. CoDameron, back. Mr. CoDameron, Colby.
That's me.
What happened?
I had a game plan, and despite him taking me off of my key 5 times, I couldn't get my second key.
Mm-hmm.
I had 4 turns in a row.
Mm-hmm.
there was a combination of double routine job. There was an E principle, which was archived, and then played again.
Effervescent principle.
Yep. There was another thing, a swindle, and I was still trying to make it, and I had a plan. I had to do this weird thing where I played a Mind Warper, and I reaped with, I used a Mars board with 4 cards for 4 turns. I didn't draw any cards.
Oof.
And the plan was...
for out of necessity for board control, or just because that was the optimal?
I have very little Amber control on my deck. So the plan was to use Mind Warper as many times as possible, and I would Mind Warp, I would Collector Worm, and I would Reap, and that would get me back to 7, 4 turns in a row, right? And he stopped me on every time, and I'm like, fine, this is fine. I still have a plan. My plan was I'm holding 3 discards with a dot. One of them I can't play because my Soul Snatcher is making the game very silly. I wanted to get my second key, play my Dis hand, lash him, and since I've got 4 Mars creatures on the board, that is the magic number for key abduction. If you have 4 bodies, you reap 4 times, you pick up your hand, now you have 10 cards, and that means you got 4 Amber. If you had 1 Amber going...
you need one going in.
You only need 1 going in,
Yeah,
and that's the plan that I had was to... Was to step 1 lash, step 2 play 2 dots and discard my third key abduct. My third it was a call the week I couldn't play. Very important step is to draw key abduction, and then play it for the win. That was the line I was going for.
Yeah.
But he had a crazy killing machine and ripped a discard off the top of my deck, got my lash, and that wrecked my whole thing. And he just got to 6 and 1. Because my deck has not a lot of Amber control and his has a ton, and I still put up a huge fight. And what I'm proud of is I had a line, and I played it optimally, and despite not drawing cards, my 3 cards were 3 Dis events with an Amber, and I had no Dis board. And I had both Papangas and a Nepenthe Seed. And I think there might have been a turn in there where I could have played it, but I almost think that's the wrong turn. I think that's the wrong turn because that turn gives me no Amber and puts him not in check.
Yeah.
I put him in check every single turn with my play, and he had an answer every single turn. But you just had to play it. You had to go with it.
Yeah, and I mean, you really you identified what you have to do in these situations. You have to play to your outs.
Right, and
right?
I was playing for the third key.
Right. You have to you played your outs, and specifically your outs to win the game.
Right.
Right. I mean that's the only way you can handle tough situations in this game when your back is against the wall. Like playing for things that improve your position, but ultimately are unlikely or impossible to make you win.
Yeah.
Is not the correct line. Like even if your only way to win is an unlikely line, you still have to play the unlikely line. You have to play for the unlikely line. You can't play for the thing that improves your position, but ultimately, you can't play for the thing that improves your position, but is ultimately unlikely to cause you to win the game, because winning the game being the only thing that matters.
Right. And I'm really proud of the line that I discovered. Right. I'm really happy with this crazy line because I know my key abduction math. You need 4 creatures to rip a key abduction in 1 turn. Yeah, that's the number. Well, and you have to have an Amber going in.
So I have
good game. Congratulations to the top 4. Hey, look, I'm gonna cast the rest of the day because I want to do that anyway. Let's talk about how did George's game go.
George lost.
So that means Nathan is still number 1 player.
That means Nathan's still the number 1 player. I have to double check the math on whether or not Ben can actually catch him. I think Ben has 2-10 going in today, so no, I don't think he can catch him. So I think Nathan will remain the number 1 player. George will be number 2. The margin will be much closer now.
But the real question is, what's the top 4 look like?
Let me tell you, Colby, what the top 4 looks like. So we have our intrepid reporting staff here, and we really appreciate it.
1 second.
Let's
real quick.
Yeah.
Thank you very much to Eric, Stoic Angel on my forums. Always a member. Always loud.
Have a good one, guys.
What a great player. What a great guy. Peace. Have a safe trip.
And I'll say a good thing about Eric. Eric is a great player. It's unfortunate in some ways. He's become a friend of mine, and like we have had in 2 consecutive Vault tours, we have had the match of the Erics, which both spell our name the very unique way, E-R-I-C-H. So we've had the match of the Erics in both Vault tour events, in the last two that I went to. So that was fun to play him, but unfortunate that there could only be one. It was like Highlander.
Yeah.
Anyway,
okay. Back
so
to top 4.
top 4. Here are your top 4 players and their houses and deck composition. Brad is one of them. Brad has a Brobnar Shadows Logos deck. Philip has a Sanctum Shadows Untamed deck. AJ has a Shadows Logos Dis deck. And Ben has a Brobnar Dis Shadows deck. Colby, do you notice anything in similarity between those decks?
Yes, there's no Mars.
There is no Mars, and yet there is a thing that's in all of them.
I don't see it. I don't know what it is.
I believe it's our old friend Shadows, Colby.
Oh, Shadows.
I know. And so the interesting thing that I've noticed, and perhaps you've made the same observation playing this tournament, is that a lot of, because AOA does not have much Amber control.
Right.
And because Amber control, especially in sealed, when you're not like having a deck that's crafted to combo or rush or something like that.
Yep.
Because Amber control is so important, you're likely to pick Amber control decks. Most of the games, Amber control, even though they've increased it in Sanctum, they have a little bit in Brobnar. Most of the games, Amber control is from the Shadows. But I'm being told that the semifinal matchup is starting, so we should probably.
Is this the game?
Yes, we need to change
Do
the
we have
names
names?
real quick.
Okay.
Names and decks?
Yes. So Ben is going to be on the left here.
Sure.
Apologies to the stream for getting a little obsessed in the
do some
nuance,
casting.
but so look, we're gonna. So all right. So looks like we're coming into this on about turn
And this
3.
is still Philip, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that should need to change.
Philip,
Yeah.
that's the same deck.
Excellent. But yeah, but you have extra spaces in here. I know. It's fine.
All right. So
Mighty Tiger with Way of the
Mighty
Porcupine.
Tiger with Way of the Porcupine. Ben is already Yerked. Yerk is a solid play, and he's Mercs it into something. I don't know what he Mercs it into, but I'm sure it was amazing. He Mercs into Mac.
Mac the Knife?
Mac the Knife?
I think that's what I was told.
Where's Mac the Knife?
No, it looks like Bannister Joyer or something. I don't know.
Anyway, so fair enough. So apologies for the joining in progress, but he's reaping. Ben is reaping with Merkins, putting himself to 4.
So how do you look at an early game like this? Like what are these people playing for?
So I think most of the time in an early game, you're playing for board presence. And I will say, if I'm in Ben's seat, I look at Philip's deck, and my lack of an ability to memorize has uniquely benefited me in this situation because I've forgotten most of what Philip has in his deck.
Right.
So I can tell you, so I can commentate kind of honestly in this position that if I'm in Ben's seat, I don't think that Philip is likely to have a lot of access to board clears. Now he could have, looking at the houses, he could have obviously Spirit's Way, he could have Save the Pack. But he could not have any of the disboard clears. He can't have an unlock gateway unless it's some crazy Maverick.
Sure.
Right. So you feel more comfortable in Ben's position playing out a board, especially since Save the Pack is one of the potential board clears. Playing on a board that doesn't have damage on it.
Yep.
Right. You feel a lot more comfortable board developing, which is what you should be aiming to do in the early game anyway. Right. You want to be aiming to put things on the board so you can reap.
I call it posturing.
Yeah.
The early game is just figuring out who's going to have board control and is it going to matter.
Yeah.
And the is it going to matter is a big question of how much amber the player who loses the board gets.
This is very true.
And it
And whether or
looks
not
like-
they have lots of action-based amber.
And it looks like Ben is playing amber cards. He has a Ronnie Risk Blocks against a Mighty Tiger and a Grey Rider. If the Grey Rider lives, then that can be a lot of efficiency for Philip, but he has to get through Ben's whole board. Huh.
And the other thing that's nice about, again, these are just side considerations, but the other thing that's nice about Ben's position is that his board is also immune to Spirit's Way.
That is pretty nice.
His board is completely, except for Anguish, his board is completely immune to Spirit's Way.
Yeah, Spirit's Way will kill all the 3-drops and higher, but it's fine. Anguish, I'm a big fan of Anguish. It didn't do a ton for me today, but it feels really cool.
When it does anything, it's so good, though. Even
Yeah.
when it does nothing, it's a 6-power creature, which
Yeah.
is definitely a relevant ability.
So Ben has his covered by his amber shards, but I was able to get Phillips.
Yeah. Oh, we have Phillips.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
We'll get Ben's deck list in there, and it'll be in the description later, probably.
Yes.
I apologize.
You're fine.
Yeah. Anyway, so Ben drops a Tesmal, and Tesmal is he drops it next to the Blood Shard Imp. We'll talk about that in a second. But the Tesmal is one of those must-kill creatures. It is Restringantis for a turn on a stick. Right? He can potentially lock Philip out of a house indefinitely. So Philip has to commit 2 fights to that because it's elusive. But I mean, he has that on board. He can declare Sanctum, go Grey Rider, Mighty Tiger into it. But then we're looking at this other card, the Blood Shard Imp. And I'm a big fan of this card. It says, if anybody reaps, they die. It doesn't have any innate protection, but that's very strong.
So in the right deck, it's very good. Now, the problem with that particular card right now is that it's likely working to his disadvantage, at least with Tesmal. But he does have things he can run it into, right? Like, it doesn't have Skirmish, so he can run it into things pretty easily.
It's pretty good to run into the Grey Rider, I think.
It's excellent to run into the Grey Rider.
Can it just reap?
Well, I think it could reap and then it would die.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's not terrible either, but I think if you had a choice in this board, if the Grey Rider's still there and you could kill it,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure you'd rather that trade.
So let's look. I wonder, okay, let's, what is Philip holding? What is, in that hand?
Smite. Seed.
Zoom. Fine.
I'll just
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Are we frozen?
Yeah. No, we're not frozen.
Oh, okay.
They're just, Philip's in the tank. Philip is thinking about a turn. I think he's afraid of this discord that came out of Ben. Ben is currently representing a lot of, Amber control right now.
I will say this, Smite looks very good here with all the 2 powers on the board.
Ooh, yeah, Smite you smite your Mighty Tiger into the Blood Shard Imp. It will die, but it'll kill most of that board.
It will kill Tesball, it will kill Risk Locks, it will kill the Gramp. I mean, that's...
Tesmal. The Blood Shard Imp. Whatever.
Yeah, yes.
Point being that Philip has plays here, and I think he's wondering if he needs to deal with this board right now.
So he's going to reap, and then this is a very interesting play.
I like this play.
And throw it into Anguish, and now he's going to play. Now the problem with this play is that it doesn't kill Tesmal.
Not yet.
It doesn't. Well,
no, Tesmal should live.
Tesmal is elusive, doesn't it? Wait a second.
No. He fought into Anguish. Oh,
right,
no.
but Tesmal has elusive.
Tesmal's elusive. Go talk about that. Maybe he's just not afraid of the Tesmal. I'm not quite sure, but Philip does seem to think that the Tesmal should be dead also. Huh. What is nice is that Philip had this nice turn, this window to do this.
Okay, I guess he fought. I guess instead of reaping with a Grey Rider, he fought into Tesmal. I thought I saw him pick up Amber for reaping.
Oh, so he went Grey Rider into Tesmal.
Then Smite.
Then that's how he used the Mighty Tiger to fight into the Anguish.
Yes.
And then he smites.
Okay, never mind.
Very good play. So it had elusive, but he got around it by attacking twice. And that's one of the great uses of Grey Rider. He gets to fight twice, which means you get to go through elusive guys. In which, you see, this is a good turn for Philip because it takes Ben's guys off the board, but Ben just said, okay, I just discarded some cards from my hand, and Philip lost his whole board to do it.
And I have 8 Amber.
Yeah, Ben didn't really lose much from playing those 3 cards and losing them.
Yeah, and just to clarify for chat, we have been told by Carson and other judges that if we see something that should not have occurred, a board state that's wrong, we should interrupt and talk to a judge. That's why I was specifically calling for Carson when I walked over, just for the chat's benefit to explain.
I'm glad.
But back in the game, he's played a special delivery on
Right.
board?
What's interesting is that he played it too much to protect, which is nice for 2 Amber, but he doesn't have the Amber stop. He can't actually stop Ben from forging. Oh right, we got a deck name.
Why didn't they have too much to protect?
Pardon me? Ooh, that's too many. Screaming Xinman of the Tower. Okay, so Ben did get his first key, but Philip did get value out of his too much to protect. So I'm happy about that play. If Philip didn't have the stop, I mean, he has the shadows, but, you know.
So he's Champions challenging here to deal... Okay.
Should Champions challenge incorporate skirmish? I wonder, because that's not important because he died anyway.
What do you mean incorporate? Yeah, it absolutely. If the creature you're attacking with a skirmish,
If your opponent's creature has skirmish too?
no. If your opponent's creature, no, because it says fight, meaning like it's your active turn.
Yeah.
Fights plus skirmish wouldn't apply.
I think that's what happened, but it didn't matter because of 1-2 punch. But interesting,
Right.
interesting question. So,
Yeah.
Ben chooses to wipe the board. He doesn't actually get a ton of amber out of that turn, but I think he played like 4 or 5 cards. He played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. That was a great turn.
Yeah, he cycled his deck a lot there. That's very important.
And he left a Bingle Bang Bang on the board, which is so good against elusive.
It really is.
It's so good.
And Philip, probably not having a lot of other choices, was forced to play. Well, it looks like he has lights out in his hand.
He has
doesn't
lights out, but he also has special delivery. I think that's what he's debating between. How do you kill the Bingle Bang Bang? Do you put it in a hand, or do you play special delivery at it?
I think you got to know your deck and how many elusive creatures you got. I think he's got a lot. I think it's probably worth killing special delivery, but he chooses the lights out here, which could be okay.
I'm actually very happy with the lights out play because it doesn't waste the resource that is special delivery.
So right,
And also it clogs up Ben's hand. He doesn't want to go Brobnar again. He just played 5 Brobnar cards.
right. That's the argument for lights out. I don't know how many other premium targets you have for special delivery, but I think that either play is fine there. There's certainly nothing bad about it. He's going to Nerve Blast probably Lamindra?
No, a Bullet Eye.
A Bullet Eye. I thought that was a Lamindra. I'm sorry.
It-
That's
it-
a Lamindra.
And the Nerve Blast is so valuable here. I mean, the Ronnie Risk Clocks is like, okay, you could have been at 8 and I could have stopped you.
Right.
But the Nerve Blast is so valuable to get rid of the Bullet Eye, which is just kills guys all the time. That's its job. Who's ahead here? I think it is
Ben.
it is
Ben.
Ben.
Is a key.
Well, Ben has a key, but like
And I mean, like, Philip doesn't have the massive board presence that you would consider even
I think
contemplating saying he's ahead, given that he's down a key.
I disagree. I think that Philip could argue that he could come back. I think the biggest thing going for Ben right now is the Lash. If the Lash wasn't on the table, I would say that Philip is in a great spot.
Well, for sure, Philip can come back, but I think there's really no question here that with roughly comparable board states, if you're up a key, you're definitely in the lead.
Sure. I wouldn't feel like I'm at risk of losing, though. I guess what I'm trying to get across.
It's not imminent. You're absolutely right. Not imminent. And, he's in a manageable position, and he's put himself in check. So we'll see what sort of answers Ben has. He'll probably, if I saw his hand, I think he has a couple discards. He'll probably go Dis and Lash here. That would be my play, if I understand his hand correctly. That's exactly what he's doing. He's going Gorgonzola to kill.
Gorgonzola?
Gorgonzola. He's cheesing Gamgee.
Cheese the Gamgee.
He's going to call the weak Lamindra. He's going to Lash.
So
he cycled 2 cards, he gained 2 amber, he put himself in check, and he prevented the opponent from forging. It sounds like a good day to me.
Putting yourself in check at 6 is the best thing you can do right there.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Wow, and Ben just having the answers. He had a Champions Challenge and the Bingle Bang Bang. He has the Coward's End, and look at these little removal tools. Both Call the Weak and Gonguzo, great tools to get rid of elusive guys.
Champions Challenge is arguably the best removal in this format.
In the game, I would argue in the game, arguably.
Well, I mean, so you can maybe make an argument for Gateway, like straight Gateway in Coda.
Yep.
Like, you can make an argument for that. The chains are problematic, but there are scenarios where you could follow that up with something. But
the other argument I could make is Spirit's Way.
True, although we're seeing a good argument against Spirit's Way with this matchup with Ben,
right.
and is primarily 2 or less creatures, so...
Yeah. This is a tough game for Philip. Now I feel like...
He's got a Chow, and then he just put an Obeyed next to the Chow, captured 3, so he took him off check, so he's managing the situation the best he can here, and that's a pretty good turn for him, I think.
I wonder when this special delivery is going to pop.
Well, it's not on risk clocks, that's for sure.
Is it not?
No.
It's an amber on a Shadow's turn. I wonder
risk clocks?
If you reap with it, you get an amber.
Am I misremembering the card? Is that not the one that steals?
Yeah, but he's a creature. He can reap.
Yeah, no, but I think if you're Philip, you would expect there would be many more high price. If you weren't, let me put it this way: if you weren't willing to do it on Bang Bang, you should not be willing to do it on him.
That's a good point. And here
comes Bang Bang again, so
like
he'll get a second shot.
What is that, Little Rascal or something?
Yes, Little Rascal creatures to fight.
So
and he stunned the creatures, so he knows that they can't. fight anything this turn, absent something like a smite or some other out. So he is giving Philip a key though. That's a very important part of the match.
This is the most important turn for Philip so far because he doesn't have any amber to lose and he's not in check. So he can do whatever he wants with his turn. I bet you he does this untamed play where, he's got the Fog Bank and the Persistence Hunting. That's very good for him to...
Well, that Fog Bank is amazing here because unless Ben comes up with a way to kill his little rascal, he can't reap. So Fog Bank is absolute gas here. If he's able... Okay, so he's going to tap... So it's interesting. I mean, like, I think you probably play Persistence Hunting to get it out of your hand, but simply playing Fog Bank there is as good as playing Persistence Hunting unless Ben has targeted removal for his own creatures. Now, I'm not saying that you would want to keep Persistence Hunting in your hand.
No, you play it. You play it.
Probably play it, but that's really close to me.
I like the seed on the table, too. He has a Glimmer now. Glimmer,
That's
Dusk
really
Witch,
close.
Persistence Hunting.
Fog Bank became an absolute bomb for him unless Ben can find a way to kill his little rascal.
Hypothetically, Philip could Glimmer for the Fog Bank this turn.
And then Seed for the Fog Bank the following turn.
And that stops Ben's creatures entirely
Fog
because
Bank
of the little
became
rascal.
the most important card in the game for Philip until he gets rid. That's amazing.
This game just became about little rascal.
It really did.
Because you can only fight. You can't even use actions on your creatures, and you
Nope.
certainly can't reap.
No.
What you can do, so there is one thing that could happen if Fog Bank weren't around. So if you destroy your opponent's board, then
Little Rascal says you must fight if possible.
If able.
If able. Fair enough.
Is Fog Bank? How is that ruled?
Ooh.
Go ask Carson.
Ooh.
Fog Bank versus Little Rascal. Little Rascal says that you can't. Creatures must fight if able.
Yeah.
And Fog Bank says you are not allowed to fight. I wonder what the ruling is on that. My ruling is that the creatures can't do anything for a turn.
Can creatures do anything but? Well, because it all comes down to cannot versus must.
So I just spoke with Carson, and he confirmed that if he Fog Bank, he would actually be able to reap.
There was just a Brobnar turn, and
Did he not reap?
I don't know. I don't think he did.
Well,
Oh,
right, that's fair. So the Persistence Hunting saved him, but it's actually we're revoking all of our previous commentary on Fog Bank.
Yeah.
Because Fog Bank would actually be one of the worst cards for him because I guess it wouldn't be the worst, but it would basically make it so that Ben could still reap with the creatures.
Right.
Right. It would get around Little Rascal.
Normally, the way to get around your own Little Rascal is you kill your opponent's board. Now you're not allowed to fight.
Right.
Now you're allowed to reap.
Or you run the Little Rascal into something on the opponent's board.
Right.
But if you didn't have if it was Fog Bank, you couldn't do that. But now, Fog Bank actually, that is fascinating. So opponent playing Fog Bank when you have Little Rascal play.
Interesting.
That's a good call. Did he miss the reap?
He couldn't reap.
The amber from One-Two-Punch. He only got the 3 from Grim.
Right, but did he? Oh, I guess never mind. They were exhausted. Yeah, the creatures were.
They were exhausted, but this is interesting.
That's fascinating. So Fog Bank actually a mostly dead card.
Yeah, very scary. But you still have to play it for the amber. So
I think so.
Can Philip use this seed to get back in the game?
So the question is, Fog Bank is no longer a seed target. So what are you seeding for here if it's you?
I mean, the obvious choice is too much to protect, but that's not right here. Does he have a risk clocks? Because Ben is at 7. The answer is amber control. Seed for your answer to get to not lose. You could always seed for Abed the Grim.
Are you willing to seed? Well, the Abed that seems like a much better play to me, but I don't think you're willing to seed for a risk clocks here. You could just Glimmer for an Abed the Grim. That seems fine.
And hey, so we're gonna Glimmer. What are we glimmering for? It seems like Philip is gonna give up a key because I don't know a lot of amber control in this house. You can get the Mighty Tiger. Mighty Tiger's not a bad play. Okay, so he glimmers for too much to protect to grab next turn.
That is. I don't agree with. I mean, maybe I'm missing something, but I don't think I agree with that line at all for several reasons, not the least of which is that you broadcast to your opponent you have the card at hand. Like, broadcasting too much to protect is one of the worst things you can do with too much to protect.
Right. I don't think it's as bad as cards that can actually get people off of a key, because you still need a friend for too much to protect to get full value out of it.
We don't know what his hand is, so we played a Dust Witch under taunt.
There's the risk clocks. Okay.
So he has a risk clocks. I mean, that's fair, although he's giving Ben a key now.
Yeah, the Glimmer into Dusk Witch, into the Persistence Hunting in his hand, is still a very valuable play.
It is a valuable play.
I think that the seed should have been for the too much to protect at the time, and he should have been picking up a card to I don't know, put him further ahead somehow.
I mean, if I forget what other untamed cards he had at play, like
none.
Glimmering. I'm sorry, in hand. Apologies, but Glimmering for
Glimmer. He had the persistent something, so the Brobner turn still isn't coming. And
true.
he had the Dusk Witch, so Dusk Witch is a way to get back in this game, but he is down a key now.
It's a potential way for sure, but that to me, the reason why I'm questioning the play is not because I think it's horrible, it's just because it feels like you're already ahead play, right? It feels like a stall, and you don't really want to be making stall plays when you are down a key and aren't at check.
I wonder if he has a line in mind to get there, to get to that third key.
He might, and let's see. That's why I'm withholding judgment, but that's my initial thoughts on Glimmering for something that isn't going to help you right now.
He could potentially have a big play too, because he has nothing to fight the Dusk Witch, and looking at his hand, it doesn't look like he has too much to kill it.
Yeah, the Dusk Witch is very well protected. It is elusive, and although Ember Imp, that's a legacy?
I don't.
It absolutely is a legacy.
Yes, it is.
One thing I've noticed is there's a lot of legacy cards in the top, and I think that's a little bit skewed because you pick cool, strong legacies when you get them.
He just played an Onyx Knight to great success.
Wow!
With his basically 2-power deck, he killed the Dusk Witch and the Glimmer. Glimmer not necessarily that important, but the Dusk Witch with an Onyx Knight legacy.
Yeah, that is...
The legacy Ember Imp.
The legacy cards are fantastic. The Effervescent Principle in my game. There was a Mimicry in Nathan's deck. There's a... Oh, no, that's a Maverick.
So you're in Philip's seed. What are your rounds?
My out was the Dusk Witch, man.
Right. So
you have a seed.
You have a seed, but I don't know that seeding for Dusk Witch when you're facing a board with this many creatures that can easily kill your Chow and then kill your Dusk Witch because they know that's your only out. Like,
yeah.
I don't know that that's the... Plus, there's still a Bang Bang on board that you could kill with special Bang Bang.
Is he deploy or hazardous 4?
Is Chow?
Yeah.
Chow's deploy.
Chow's deploy.
Still
Chow
he's
is not
deploy.
hazardous, yeah.
Yeah.
The Rothias the Fierce is the one with hazardous 4.
Right, so like, Philip has to forge a key, first off. And he has to hold his wrist clocks and
as a Hail Mary.
He has to hold those cards, which is why we don't like the Glimmer last turn. Right? You're supposed to get value out of it right there and not chain yourself for the future.
Does he have the Spirit's Way in hand? Is that the second card? I can't tell.
I think it's Spirit's Way and Martyr's End.
Yeah.
Right.
I know he's running 2 of them.
But Spirit's Way doesn't actually help you very much. It doesn't kill.
No,
doesn't kill Ember Imp.
Yeah. Spirit's Way does nothing with this board except kill an Onyx Knight and a Schuler?
Yeah.
Schuler. That's it. That's all it does.
And it kills his only creature on the board too.
But he can't play Shadows because he locked himself into holding this too much to protect for the right time. Very rough play. Honestly, there might be a world where he just plays it now for the Amber, plays the wrist clocks, and just tries to dig even further. That's a bad play, but it's something you have to consider.
He's in a world of pain if he can't find some sort of combo with They're Everywhere and then Save the Pack. I don't know if he has those things in deck. I don't remember. I think he does have Save the Pack.
I think his chance was last turn with that Glimmer. I think the Glimmer...
Does he? Yeah.
I don't know.
Does he have... Does he have They're Everywhere in deck?
I don't know. It's sealed. Nobody knows.
Well, I should know because I watched the game last round, but I don't, so...
Memory of a Goldfish.
Yes, that's pretty much me. That's why I'm asking for cards all the time. So...
The Nepentine Seed is how he gets back in this game.
Yes.
But he needed to combo it. The Nepentine Seed is for the too much to protect, but he was too eager to get it back in hand. So here we go. We are going to pop the seed. What are we getting? We are in in Sanctum turn. Is it Aubade?
Yeah, I think it has to be Aubade.
Why?
Because, well, if you're in a Sanctum turn, I think it has to be Aubade. I think you could have other options. What other Sanctum card are you pulling out of your graveyard?
What other Sanctum cards does he have in his discard pile?
Not very many. Maybe none. I don't know. Probably not literal none, but...
Oh, look at this. Cure Mode's got the line. You special deliver... You play Spirit's Way, and then you special delivery the Imp. Cure Mode's got the line.
So... But Spirit's Way doesn't kill...
He has the Smite, too. He gets Smite into the little... the Onyx Knight, or into the Imp itself.
I just feel like that's not enough, though.
No, it's not enough.
So he's taking the smite. That's fine.
Look at how bad that feels.
It
That
feels so bad. I mean, it's you almost kind of. This might be his best option. It just doesn't. Like, so you want to kill the. That's elusive, right? The bang. Oh, bang bang's not elusive. Sorry. So all right.
he does kill the little
So
rascal,
you
which I
kill
think
Grobnar's.
is fine. Oh, he's gonna play Spirit's Way. Okay. Oh, Martyr's End first. Martyr's End first.
Sure, he's gotten an amber. Now, oh no, that's illegal. Oh, we killed the imp. I'm sorry. No, I thought he stole the imp.
I think he should have an extra amber though, because if he Martyr's End his creature,
Yeah.
he should get one from Martyr's End and
Yeah.
one more. He should be
Did
at
he
5.
not?
I believe he should be at 5. Am I right? Yeah. Look, they're asking right now. He should be at 5. Five because Martyr's End gets you one, and then you sack for your guy. 5 is correct. All right, we're all on track because there's a lot of things. That was Philip got out of the hole, but he's still in his amber hole.
Still down a key, still not on check, but he did a thing that was absolutely necessary.
Okay, Soldiers to Flowers. I think this is how he gets back in this game. Life Web and Soldiers to Flowers.
We'll see if Life Web triggers.
Life Web has to trigger for him to win this game because there's no time when he's going to be able to play Untamed comfortably unless he can steal 2. And he's going to be in check for the rest of the game if he's not going to be this turn. He will be for every turn past this turn. He has to play Soldiers to Flowers to get enough amber.
Play Life for a life just to sacrifice the bang bang and get amber.
He wants the amber. I want the amber.
Yeah, absolutely. He's miasming.
For the amber.
Does he have one more? He does.
And he plays 0 creatures.
He plays Hidden Stash for the 6th amber. He plays 1 creature. He plays Redlock. Ooh, and draws 6 cards.
What a turn.
Wow. Does he have any answers?
He got Risk Clocks. He's been holding Risk Clocks and Too Much to Protect for a little while. But now Too Much to Protect feels really bad.
Feels so bad. You almost got to play it.
You have to play Risk Clocks because you don't want to lose.
I think I would play. Will you play Too Much to Protect first?
Look at that.
I don't think you hold it anymore. I think
Look
you
at
gotta
that
play
chain. That is a chain in Philip's hand. It's been there since
It
the
is.
Glimmer.
I think you got to play it now because it actually does a thing. And
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
think you can afford to hold it any longer because unless you have. It's close because he's got 2 Shadows creatures, so we might be able to productively call Shadows with another Too Much to Protect. But I would probably play it, although the key is going to be easy. Nope, he's not. So he's going to hold it.
He might still play it. Please play it.
No, don't play it now. Playing it now kills your amp, takes you off check.
No, it doesn't.
It absolutely would. Too
much to
I'm sorry.
protect?
I'm sorry. I was thinking. My apologies.
not-
I have too many doorsteps in my deck. I'm thinking about doorstep. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I want the amber and not to hold the card. So he has Baron McGevin now.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Baron, but if you had an extra non-Shadows card in your hand,
Yeah.
and Ben still knows that Philip is chained with that Too Much to Protect. That's the other problem with it.
Right, because he popped into his hand.
Right.
Right, and that's that you've telegraphed the move, and you're not even going to play the move. Like, so Ben will always just go to 6,
Right.
or more if he doesn't care. But like,
And Philip now is probably not going to forge his key.
Was that?
He's either going to get lashed, or Ben only needs 1
So
steal.
what did he pull archive? That is a
Oubliette.
Okay.
Oubliette.
Oubliette?
Oubliette.
I think it's oubliette.
Probably.
I think it's French.
It is French.
I'm going to rely on my 3 semesters of French in high school and say that's oubliette, and that's what we're going with. He's going to risk locks to take him off check.
I guess with 7 you get risk clocks harder. What a good card.
Passes back. What answers does he have now? The doorstep isn't an answer. So he has
Baron McGevin.
Baron McGevin, but he has no other Sanctum cards in hand.
I wonder if that one.
I think the game is done.
I wonder if that Too Much to Protect in his hand would have been the extra card.
The game is done. He's conceding.
Go,
Ben.
go check the top of Philip's deck.
has
I want to know if it's a
made
Sanctum
the
card.
final.
That's his playstyle. Like he did that last game too.
Really?
He held it 3-4
Congratulations to both competitors. A well-fought game, but Ben will be advancing to the final.
Congratulations to Ben.
Do a finals. I want to do the finals. Never get to do one.
Okay?
You always boot me out.
Well, I mean, you know.
Oh,
up to
right.
him.
So, what a game. Let's. You were watching that game, Z, right? Do you want to talk with Eric about how that game went?
Sure. So I feel like at times it felt tense, like just watching it.
It did.
But through the whole I think that's a lot of nervous energy coming off Ben because I play with Ben locally and he's just that way.
Yeah.
But I feel that he had it the whole way. Like
He really- so to
everything
me, when I'm
Philip did was answered. Like asked, answered,
Right, and he forced Philip to have answers a lot, and Philip only had them some of the time. He has a good deck, so he had them some of the time, but he did not have answers all the time.
That said, I think the most pro move that I saw was when Glimmer, Dusk Witch hit the board.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, if you guys are up for it.
Exhume with the Knight to wipe out odd creatures was amazing. That was probably the most
All right.
heads up play I saw.
so we're gonna have
We're gonna have an interview with Kobe
with
and
Philip, I think.
Philip.
Right. So we're probably going to interview after the finals, whether he wins or loses, because there's a lot to talk about after a finals game. But that was a really fantastic top 4 game, semifinals game, and Philip just ran off. But we are going to interview him and ask him about that game. He was playing from behind most of the time, so I wonder what was going through his head. If I wasn't perceiving him to be so far behind, but he, I don't know, may have been much more afraid of the situation. Philip. Too bad for the result, but congratulations on your placing.
Thank you very much.
How did you feel about the game? Tell me, what were you thinking, what was going through your head, and why you played things the way you did?
Let's see. I'm pretty sure I was behind the entire game.
Yep.
So I was trying to play catch up as much as I could. There were a few turns in a row where I had 2, 2, and 2. So that slowed me down quite a bit. My opponent's that first Onyx Knight. Is that what it is?
The Onyx Knight for the Dusk Witch Glimmer was devastating.
Yeah, I was like, no, that's really good. I mean, he could have done anything. He had Flamethrower. He could have killed it.
Oh, the Flamethrower could have gotten it. We didn't even notice that, but you knew that.
Yeah, I mean, I figured then he'll at least pick Brobnar. I think he had played all his Brobnar cards, so the best he could have done was play what's on the board. I think they were all exhausted.
We were very excited for the prospect of a comeback. Once you played the first persistence hunting and noticed that you could keep playing it, we thought that the fog bank was actually going to be a lockout, but it actually lets him reap instead. That was the ruling we got from Carson. If you play the fog bank, he can actually reap with his guys under the Little Rascal, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, I didn't even see. Little Rascal didn't even play into my thoughts.
The biggest question that we had for your playstyle that I want to get your input on is you play Glimmer. And you have seed on the table. You picked up too much to protect. And why was that your choice? And do you think that was the right choice?
I don't know if it was the right choice or not.
Yeah.
I don't know if I had anything else in there that I wanted. Yeah, what was my thought process on that? So I used Glimmer to pick up too much to protect.
Yeah.
I knew that I wanted to save my Nepenthe seed for something else.
That's what our argument was, and I'm not too mad at that.
Yeah.
It's not my play style, but saving the seed to be a more flexible tool later seemed like a great play.
Right. So yeah, it was because I knew the only way to make too much protect work was with Ronnie, so I needed to be able to Nepenthe seed my Ronnie back. And so I was just kind of saving that for the moment. I didn't get the moment to do that, but I tried.
And you did draw the Ronnie, and we thought the problem was that Ben knew that you had the too much to protect, so he wasn't going to play into it.
Sure, yeah.
And I think the biggest thing that really didn't come into play during the game, but you were under lash. You could have been lashed any single turn, and that made it really hard for you to get a key.
Yeah.
But anyway, fantastic game. It's all recorded and commentated here.
Sweet.
Come back, watch it later. Congratulations, top 4. That's still a great placing.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was
Dave,
really fun.
Like that means you still won 8 games over the past 2
Sure,
days
yeah.
and lost 2.
Yeah, I mean
that's still very, very, very good
I
in
don't
a
like
sealed
losing.
environment.
I prefer losing 0 games.
Sometimes
I'm gonna cry about it.
you learn a lot by losing. Anyway,
you
thank you for coming. Thank you for
no
stopping
problem.
into the stream.
Yeah, that's good.
And we'll see you soon.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much.
You gonna be at Gen Con?
I wasn't planning on it. Yeah, this funny story. My mom said I couldn't go.
Oh no!
She's planning a trip with our family. I'm like, no, I'm going to Gen Con that weekend. And she's like, you cannot go.
That's too bad. Well, I hope we see you at a tournament soon because you have proven yourself to be an excellent player and a stand-up guy too.
Sure. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. You're a stand-up guy too.
All right, I'm sitting down though.
All right.
Have a great time.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so that is our cast for the semifinals. The finals will be adaptive. That means they play a game with their sealed decks, then they swap decks, and if they're both 1-1, that means one deck won twice. So what they'll do is they'll bid on the winning deck, and I don't know. That's a crazy format for the final round. It will be coming up soon. We'll be right back. All right, we are back. Whatever round it is, the finals are about to start, and I am here with Aaron. Aaron just came off of his very stressful top 4 game. Aaron, tell me how you feel about your game, and tell me about your tournament.
Yeah, that was probably the closest game I played. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, just like student.
Yeah. That was probably the closest game I played, except for maybe round 4, where it was a bunch of big Sanctum guys that my deck really has a trouble getting over and getting around, unless I pull off like double Schuler, Hysteria combo, to take them off and get rid of their captured Amber.
Right. So I'm looking at your deck right now. We have Ben's not watching this, but we're about to see a Dis Logos Shadows list. Tell me some of the nuances of your deck that we should be watching for as we watch the finals.
Yeah, so the raw Amber count is 11, which is, it feels low, but the expected Amber is pretty high when you have Bryn the Fanatic and
yeah. Are you counting Nerve Blast?
No, that's just raw Amber is 11.
Right.
So yeah, you have the double Nerve Blast, you have the Bryn the Fanatic, which is 3 essentially.
Yep.
And then you have like the Cutthroat Research can net you 2. It won't stop them, but then I have 3 Miasmas to make their life even worse.
You do.
3 Miasmas, 2 Charrettes, and 2 Schuler with a Hysteria. So
I see that you have too much to protect. Is there a way to actually get a key stopped from that?
yeah, with the Nerve Blast.
Oh, the Nerve Blast. Yeah.
That's the easiest way. A cute way is Bryn the Fanatic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you saw in that last game where he was threatening to forge, and I played Bryn the Fanatic, Nerve Blast to steal 1 to give him his blood money back.
Wow.
And then too much to protect and miasma. So I couldn't take him off 6.
You can miasma.
But, right. I couldn't take him off 6, but I could try to get out of his range. He was able to answer that, but the following turn when I let him forge, I just bursted up to 11, which is out of his effervescent principle range because it only rounds down. Yeah, 11 only takes away 5, and he would have to. That's his only Logos control.
Right.
He had the 2 routine jobs